Oh dear.
Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Oh Dear, presented by Bo's Bar and Stage. We're back, well rested, took an extra week off there to get ready, well, for something we're going to talk about a bit later, and we do have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm Ted Emmett, very happy to be back here once again, coming to you from Communal Creative Studios in the heart of downtown Red Deer, joined by the man who is too dirty to clean his act up. And for that, it is a good joke because that was the song we came out to at the firefighter calendar launch party. So yeah, a little bit of an inside joke, but Dustin likes it. Dustin Moore, how are you?
Yeah, one of my favorite classic tunes back to the 90s, I believe, Christina Aguilera, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to talk about our adventure on Saturday night. Pretty pumped to be back with you boys after, 3 days away from each other? So nice little break. Thank God for grandparents right now. Not a lot of sleep going on in our house with that daylight saving time.
Yeah.
Got it, Ted. So yeah, other than that, I'm good. I'm having a troubled monk and enjoying life.
And him and his girl's going to shake the room. This is going to be a Christina Aguilera themed opening here, like it or not. Kevin Walsh, how's it going?
What song is that? Is that a lyric from one of her songs?
That's still dirty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was too busy focusing on walking very briskly through the crowd during that song on Saturday night. So, but yes, I'm good, Ted. Thank you.
I was going to say, is there more to that? And yeah. So, of course, the man who's always sweating till his clothes come off, Ryan Lund, how's it going?
Good. I had a shower and I'm nice and clean.
And you legally were in Bo's with your shirt and pants off in the same night.
I'm always legal.
It's not illegal. It's
not
just
illegal.
Yeah, it's frowned upon by a few people, not us.
It was just encouraged that night.
We are going to talk about that all a bit later, but she had one of the best seats in the house to watch us do whatever it was we did on Saturday night. She's maybe, I guess, the best seat in the house again over on the couch to watch us do whatever the hell we're going to do tonight. Coworker Erin, how's it going?
It's going good. Just love to do a lot of watching. So it's been wonderful.
You dirty girl.
You want to get dirty?
This is the start of a Criminal Minds episode.
And no intro is complete, of course, without mentioning the two heroes behind the scenes, Ryan and Riley from Communal Creative Studios, spending yet another night making the magic happen for us. And congratulations are in order. I guess today now would have been episode 31. By the time this comes out, 32. But they did hit 30 episodes already of The Road, the Stage. They're putting out a podcast every week. That's really hard to do. So congratulations, guys, on that. And I mean, listen to all of them, but listen to episode 30 because Ryan is on it and he was fantastic. It was pretty cool to hear just about his life as a sound tech. So I think we all know he's, one of the heroes at Bo's every show making it happen. So congratulations, guys, on that. And I think we're probably going to hear from Ryan a little bit later, too.
And let me just say, like what have we had? Is this episode 19?
Yeah.
So they've pumped out 32 episodes. They started after us, I believe. They're pumping out video content, plus they both still work at Bo's. Like, those are some hard working gentlemen that we got on our team. So thanks, fellas.
And thanks for pointing out how slow we are at doing things. But
hey, but like, in all seriousness, like, there's a lot of, like, I feel like we've done a lot of stuff. Like, I keep saying like, but honestly, it's busy for us. Like, everyone's got their own lives and stuff. And those guys are putting in a ton of time for all different kinds of businesses. So well done.
Yeah, thank you again, guys, as always, for being here. This is going to be a great episode. I can feel it. We've been a little off the rails lately. I think we're all buzzing, though, from Saturday night still. And I'm really excited because we are going to focus in a little bit more this episode. There's more of a community focus to it. We're going to have Myles Peake from the Red Deer Outreach Center here and Cara Horsley from Mamas for Mamas Red Deer, which is something new that's come up in the last couple of months. And they're going to both talk about some ways you can give back during the holidays because we are getting into the holiday season. It's before Remembrance Day when we're recording this, but after when it comes out. So we will talk a little bit about the holiday season. And as fun as that is and how excited we all get for the holidays, it can be the worst time of the year for a lot of people. And I think there's some really great ways that we can all support those people and those families over the holiday season. And Myles and Cara are going to tell us all about that. It's also the first time that we're going to actually do some recording, do an interview, and then finish the recording. So we're doing everything in real time tonight, and we're going to see how that goes. Anyways, on with the show. The one thing that will never change or probably never change is how we kick off the night with the Glad game.
The Glad Game is brought to you by Louis Corriveau of Warren Sinclair LLP, a Central Alberta law firm dedicated to helping all its clients achieve their business and personal goals. Learn more at warrensinclair.com.
I'll kick it off tonight. Lots of exciting things going on in Red Deer, and I know I got just berated for my last Glad game for all the birthday parties I mentioned.
You're just such a suck up.
Speaking of which, I never got invited to any of them, which I'm not happy about. But anyways,
So what does that tell you?
yeah. Either they're not listeners or they're not happy.
I
But,
was just going to
Hey,
say
I
it doesn't
invited
work.
you to beers for my birthday.
oh, that's true. I did get invited
Oh.
to one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you apparently don't matter.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
not.
Love you, Kev.
You
I'm not
do to
going to
me.
invite you next
You
year.
know what else I love? Westerner Park. They got a lot of cool stuff going on. CFR just
That sounded
ended.
like a bad radio ad.
CFR just ended, which was awesome. I know they had great turnout, great corporate sponsorship. They ran a free cabaret every night. Lots of people out at the Westerner. Agri-trade just kicked off today. I'm not a big agriculture guy or farming guy, but I know there's a ton of exhibitors there this week. And then obviously the World Juniors, which hits close to home as for us, for hockey fans, and looking forward to get out to the Canada exhibition game and then seeing the opposite pool to Canada here in Red Deer. So they're bringing in lots of traffic, lots of tourism, and looking forward to getting through these events and into a new year.
They had lots of money. I think what was it, about 25 million? They say it injected into the economy, just CFR, and then of course Agri-trade going on too. So yeah.
So I guess what I'm glad about is that all the clubs are able to kind of get back to almost business as usual. I know our Optimist Club, we're starting to have some events again. I know we have our Battle of Alberta event. We're just about finished finalizing, and it's going to be on January 8th at Bose. So that's a big fundraiser for our club. Our club also does participate in the adoptive family that Myles is going to talk about later today. And then as well too, we're also looking at planning a golf tournament for the spring or summertime. So just kind of nice to get back to bringing larger groups of people together and feeling that sense of community and sense of pride you get when you're raising money for good causes. So that's what I'm glad for today.
And just a quick Glad game to piggyback off Lundy before you and Kev get into yours. You know, you talk about events and the stuff at Bose. 2 snaps for Brennan at Bose for all the stuff he's bringing into Red Deer right now, from concerts, shows, the Christmas themes that they're bringing in this holiday season. Check out the shows they got going on, and we'll see you January 8th.
Although this episode is going to come out after Remembrance Day, like I already said, it is right before Remembrance Day for us. So I think it is absolutely something worth talking about. It's pretty obvious. I think we're all very glad for the people who have served and continue to serve our country. And I think even more than that, this time of year, I just really appreciate seeing, especially on social media, people who either currently have or have had any kind of family members serve our country. You know, they post about it on social media, share their stories, and I think that's really cool. Or you hear their stories in person, and that means a lot to me. I don't know if any of you guys have anyone in your family or extended family that have ever served, but both my grandfathers actually were in the Canadian Armed Forces. My mom's dad was, for most of his career, in the Air Force, and my dad's dad, otherwise known as Ted Emmett II, served in, real story. I don't think I've ever told that story, but it's a family name. So there's 4 of us Teds. He served in World War II. So Remembrance Day is always very important, especially on my dad's side of the family, and everybody shares. And if you let me kind of go on a tangent here and share a story, because every year we think about this, that when he was serving in the war, he was on a river class destroyer called the HMCS Saguenay. And on December 1st, 1940, so well over 80 years ago, it was torpedoed by an Italian sub, and it blew the bow off, and 21 of the people on the ship died. And obviously my grandfather survived because he was on the right side of the ship, or else I wouldn't be here today. But that's a big one to always remember. And when it kind of hits close to home, every time I ever saw my grandfather, he'd tell me that story. My dad talks about it all the time. So it's just always nice to see other people's stories and let them share their story. And, a couple of years ago, we were in Halifax, and in Halifax Harbor, there's the HMCS Sackville, which is the exact same ship pretty much. And it's docked all the time, kind of like a little museum. And I had the opportunity to walk through there with my dad. He'd never been on there before. And so he got to look around and see what his dad saw. And again, just a really cool experience. So this time of year always really makes me think about that, and makes me think about all the soldiers who never came home. and how, lucky my dad's family is that he came home from the war. And it's 21 people didn't make it. And my grandfather every year would go, on both November 11th and December 1st, pay his respects to his fallen shipmates. There's an article as well that he wrote well into his later years about them as well in the paper. So, sorry, got a little long-winded there on Remembrance Day, but I hope everyone shares stories like that, because I think I really like sharing that story. I'm really proud of both my grandparents and what they've done for our country. And yeah.
So Ted, just to piggyback off your story, mine's also about Remembrance Day, and just thinking of my wife's my wife's grandpa, who's now since passed, but he was a tail gunner in World War II. And he's from the Wetaskiwin area. And I can't remember the number, but he shot down a number of planes. And anyways, he came back after the war, thankfully. And the Legion in Wetaskiwin is the Les Brady Lounge, which I think that's pretty cool. Like, to say that a Legion is named after you. Obviously, he did something pretty incredible. And it is like, there's a couple pictures and some stuff. We've gone there a few times, kind of like as a family to gather there, right? So yeah, I just thought it was cool that there's only a few people, I think, that would have a Legion named after them. So
I'm not sure about you, Lundy. I think just one of my grandpas served in the war, but just as you guys talk about those stories, like, I could never imagine, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I could never imagine it was drafted to war, right? Like, you got drafted to war. It absolutely scares the hell out of me. You might think this is a joke or not, but even when I go paintballing, like, I think to myself, there's no way I could actually be in real combat. It's just something that I am so scared, and how brave these people were at that time to make our world and our country a better place is insane to me.
Yeah, well said, Dusty. I don't really have any family members that served, but I got a lot of respect for anybody that did, or that has stepped up to fight for our country. Hopefully we never have to go back to war. Hats off to everyone. And November 11th, everyone this will be passed. So hopefully you took for out some time. Yeah. Every November 11th, just make sure you think back and are grateful for what everyone's fought for, because there's a lot of countries that don't have what we have today.
And, on that note, it doesn't have to be November 11th. I think anytime you get the chance to, I think it's probably cool to get to go to the Les Brady Lounge in Wetaskiwin, right? Or like I said, do it all the time. The History Channel still exists. I know you probably don't watch TV as much anymore as just Netflix and whatnot, but the more you can learn, we get further and further away. And I believe there's not too many World War II veterans still alive. And if there are, they're obviously up there in age now. And yeah, I think never stop learning about it, because it's still every day people are still going off to, Afghanistan or overseas anywhere, and their family really doesn't know if they're coming back or not. So it's just always remember that people are making that sacrifice.
I mean, I guess I can pile on with a quick family story as well, because we had a lot of family members, great grandparents and great grandfathers in World War I, and great uncles in World War II, including my great uncle Leonard Drysdale, who was 21 and flew a Lancaster bomber on 21 missions over Germany and didn't make it home, presumed dead, and has a lake named after him, actually, in northern Manitoba, which is something they did for a lot of the boys, because let's face it, they were boys, the boys who didn't come home. So yeah, I hope everybody took the time in what will be tomorrow for us to just take that moment of silence and reflect back on, what we've been through, and hope that we don't go through that again.
Wow. And that was a really nice start to the night. I said we were going to be a little more mature tonight, be on the rails, and I really enjoyed talking about that. So thank you, guys and girl and Aaron. Got to get out of the habit of saying that.
Well, why don't we just call her? She's just producer Aaron. She's outgrowing coworker Aaron.
I know.
She's a part of the podcast and has been for a couple months now. Well, even past
since the beginning.
Yeah, since the beginning, but that has slowly, like, her role is just like naturally evolved in the studio here and outside organizing events with us. So
did you hear her asking about a director's chair?
Yeah. Like it's just hard to change a nickname once, there's a couple people. I'll never forget when she met Lund's mom and she said, "Oh, your coworker Aaron." So it's just hard for me not to, because it's out there now. Well, but I do agree with you.
Now Lund's mom can be like, "Hey, there's producer Aaron."
And I'll be like, "Oh, hey, there's Ted Emmett the 4th.
And when's the 5th?
Yeah. Well, could be out there. Oh, Hey, we got away from that maturity thing real quick.
Yeah.
So let's go right back to it because our guests are here. This is going to be kind of cool transitioning right into it. And we actually have an interview sponsor tonight as well.
This episode's interview is brought to you by Corey Kloss of RBC Dominion Securities, helping families reach their wealth management goals since 2013 by creating a straightforward, clear path. If you have any questions about your current investments or need a plan to reach or maintain retirement, reach out to Corey and his team at RBC Dominion Securities today.
All right, and some a little different too. We've got all four of us in here. We have Dustin and Walsh over on the couch, and we have two great guests with us tonight. We have Myles Peake from the Red Deer Outreach Center, and we have Cara Horsley from Mamas for Mamas Red Deer. I knew I was going to say it right this time. So thank you, both of you, for coming out on a Wednesday night. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks.
So I guess we'll start one by one here. Well, ladies first. So Cara, tell us a bit about Mamas for Mamas Red Deer. It's a little bit newer program to Red Deer, so I think this is a pretty cool opportunity just to learn a little bit more about what it's all about.
So yeah, we're brand new to Red Deer, but Mamas for Mamas is a national charitable organization that started in 2016 in Kelowna. And so it kind of started as just like an online support for moms to, if they were in search of items, find items that they're looking for, and other moms post items that they have to donate just to support moms in need. And then since then it's grown across Canada. So there's 63 branches. All of those 63 branches are online only, but we have a physical branch in Kelowna, Vancouver, and then just yesterday, Calgary secured a physical location by donation, which is super exciting for them. So what we do is we really focus on breaking down financial barriers for families by kind of coming in and filling the gaps that maybe other organizations just, like if someone doesn't meet the criteria for that organization, whether they're just above the low income threshold or if they are just brand new to Red Deer and don't have a permanent address, we come in and kind of fill those gaps as they arise by giving them a hand up with whatever it is that they're looking for. So mental health support, we can help people maybe at risk of homelessness, food security, kind of anything that someone is needing.
So is there any cost or is it 100% donation?
It's all 100% donation. So right now we're strictly online. So we have a peer-to-peer Facebook page where people are able to post items they're looking for. And then I'm a registered social worker, so I kind of monitor that page closely. And if families are consistently posting and seeking items, I can reach out and create a comprehensive care plan with them to find out kind of what they've missed, what organizations they've maybe tried to access already, and where they're falling short. So we have national partnerships at our head office that kind of supports all of our branches. So Modern Pure Air is a big one. So Red Deer Modern Pure Air donates 1% of their revenue to Mamas for Mamas. And that fund goes into our Pure Kids Fund. And so what that does is it goes to support families with kids in need of certain items. So if they're maybe falling short for dental work or they need glasses or an assessment that maybe the family can't afford, those funds are there for that. And then as we grow, we hope to continue to raise funds towards our branch specifically just to help further that support.
So Cara, with this being so new, maybe talk a little bit about your passion, how you got involved in this and really how this come to Red Deer.
So it was kind of by accident. In all my spare time, I figured that I would just take something else on. So I'm actually a registered social worker with Red Deer Public Schools. So I work at a K-5 school at a 0.6 capacity right now. So I work every day in the mornings. And then my sister is a birth doula in Red Deer. And back in the spring, I was helping Dr. Jody Carrington's team secure silent auction items for the Calgary branch. And my sister and I got talking and we're like, too bad Red Deer doesn't have this. And then we're like, we should get it going in Red Deer, see what we can do in Red Deer. And then kind of laughed about it. And then we're like, but maybe we should. And so we reached out to head office in Kelowna and found that Red Deer did have a small Facebook page where they just had the peer-to-peer stuff going on. But at the time it was about 300 people. And so since May, it's grown to 1,700. And so we've met back and forth lots with head office in Kelowna. And they're just like the most passionate people about this project. Our founder, her name's Shannon Christensen, is just like a pit bull. Like she just gets it done. And she is so passionate about growing into Alberta. So they were super supportive with our backgrounds kind of coming in. But I see so many families that just kind of get missed So families that might be experiencing, like if someone sits just above that low income threshold, they don't qualify for a lot of supports. And so as a social worker at the school, I've oftentimes had to say to families like, I don't know where else to send you. And so my passion for this is now we have those means to kind of fill those gaps as they arise. Because Red Deer has the most incredible organizations, and sometimes families don't even know they're there. So sometimes it's a matter of referring the family. And then other times, if they don't meet that criteria, then we can come in and support them.
So, and that's a perfect note to go over to Myles here, because another huge organization that does a lot of different things in Red Deer. And I know Dustin's been working pretty closely with you lately in his new job, but just tell us a little bit about your role at the Red Deer Outreach Center. I know you're a little bit newer there, and if you can Cole's notes it, because as I said, they do a lot, just kind of what the main goal and objectives are there.
You're right. The Outreach Center itself is well, it's been around since 1984. It's a large organization. Rebranded 2 years ago because we absorbed the Suicide Information Education Services, that branch, along with the Women's Outreach, which that was our primary service, and we combined it and made the outreach. So we're a larger organization. We offer 35 programs in different areas, 4 pillars of service, everything from domestic violence support, mental health, suicide prevention and mental health well-being, self-sustainability, and some housing stability programs. We're the Red Deer housing team in Red Deer. So very busy. We deal with a lot. We're across central Alberta, everywhere from, we have services, we offer services in Rocky Mountain House, all the way up to Drayton Valley, down to even, I think, Hanna and Drumheller to Consort. So we cover a wide array of space, I guess, in central Alberta. So that's kind of us in a nutshell. But yeah, we are very, very busy as of late, especially with the Christmas season and whatnot. So yeah,
you talk about Christmas, and obviously COVID, has amplified all these numbers in different charities and people who are in need now with people being laid off of jobs and everything that's come with COVID. But Myles, you're part of the Bulldogs Foundation board now. You're a coach. You love to give back. Before we circle back to Cara and talk about what's going on in the Christmas season for Mamas for Mamas, tell us what's going on. Like, this podcast actually works out quite well for the Outreach Center. You guys have a ton of events coming up here right away.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, in the world of philanthropy, now is the giving season, and so we have a lot going on as any other agency in town or in the area. Let's start off with Adopt a Family. We have that's an initiative that we've been doing for 20 years. We help families that are needing help throughout the holidays, and they need that extra little help. So that's a program that we're running. We run it every year. This year, I think don't quote me, but it's going to be up around 300 families, I think, that we're going to be servicing this year. So that's a big increase from even last year, I think. So
that'll be a direct quote in tomorrow's paper. Myles says 300 families. Thanks, Lundy. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for.
So if it's 303, like, that's great that there's more, but then you lied to everybody. You lied to like 12 people on this podcast that listen.
Yeah. So let's just say approximately in that range. But yeah, we launched that program November 1st. We're really we'll be going hard at it. And already the phones are ringing and people are, contacting us. And we have a real strong base of supporters that every year come back and help us out. So we got that going on. We help out with the lip sync battle, which is going to be happening out at Beau's Bar and Stage. I was going to say, the old name, but Beau's Bar and Stage, and this is what he sponsors us too. So I apologize, Brandon. But
I don't think he listens.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, but that's coming up December 2nd, and again, that's more of a third party. That's more of a group of ladies about 5 years ago decided to do something. They got the idea, the spinoff from the Celebrity Dance Off, and so they wanted to do something a little different. And so the lip sync thing was happening, and everybody, on TV and whatnot. So they started doing it, and it's growing in popularity. So that's coming up December 2nd, and again, that's a pretty popular event. It's already almost sold out, I believe, or pretty close to. So
can anybody buy tickets, and can anybody participate in the lip sync battle?
Yeah, the tickets are up for sale right now. I don't know the exact link to it, but it should be up around somewhere.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet, yeah. Anyone can buy tickets. There's VIP packages. There's regular tickets. But to participate in it, you have to go through a vetting process.
Is it like American Idol where you're in a big room by yourself and you got to perform and just make a fool of yourself?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like 350 people, screaming people, having fun. If you take a look at some of the videos from previous years, you'll see the amount of enthusiasm and the actual work that goes into the choreo, like the dancing and the performance itself is quite amazing. Actually, people take it pretty serious.
Yeah,
so.
Bud Kelly from Troubled Monk. I think Dustin and I we were laughing, but we were pretty impressed with his performance. And Lund, one way to be part of it is, for some people, Brennan will just text you and say, hey, you guys are in the lip sync battle. Unfortunately, it is the same night the four of us are going on a nice little vacation together, so we won't be there, but which is too bad because that would be a pretty fun night. So
I got a question. What would you guys do? Like, exactly. What would you guys do? Like a boy band?
Yeah,
I think you guys,
for
you guys
sure
would have to do that.
I don't think because of me, I don't think we have a choice.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
It would be,
Yeah, you got it tattooed on your body.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we would have done, because you get to do 2 songs, right? I believe.
Yeah, it's 2 songs.
So I think we had talked and we'd do like a boy band, and then we were going to do like a...
Boy band.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, there's always next year, boys. We can make that happen.
Yeah, sign us up for next year.
I will never, I won't forget that. Actually, I'll make sure that you guys get in there. But yeah, so that event's happening on December 2nd. So yeah, so we got a lot going on. And of course we got some smaller events. There's a lot of people that in the community are starting to do a little bit third party at their stores or whatever. So shout out to Salon Harper. They're going to decorate a tree, have it all decorated, raffle it off. I think the biggest thing for us is the month of December. We're going to be running that gift wrapping station in Bauer Mall.
Oh, I've used that a number of times.
I'm a regular at that, and now I'll be wrapping it. So we'll see how that goes. But
So do you need volunteers?
we do need volunteers. Yes, we do. So if the Oh Dear host team wants to...
Oh, that's not why I was at.
Oh,
Just
okay.
for
I'm just saying-
anyone else.
Everyone else,
We're
yeah.
doing our part. No, we'll of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we need 2 volunteers. We need me to wrap and then someone to unwrap what I wrapped and wrap it again.
Yeah.
A lot of gift bags, I think I'm going to be.
One year I tried to wrap stuff on my own, and I almost gave away, the whole Santa thing with my kids, because it was like poor, because
what
my
do you
wife.
mean? What Santa thing?
His wrap job is so shit.
Oh, like how that was a
Yeah.
pretend Santa and the real Santa.
You're right, because he was busy and I was trying to fill in. And anyway, so I was wrapping the gifts, and there's like, I even incorporated like duct tape into it and stuff, and I'm just trying to keep it all together. And my wife's like, "What the hell is this?" And I'm just, I don't know. It was a disaster. So anyway, December 1st to December 23rd, the Outreach Center we'll take volunteers, we'll take organizations, sport teams, groups, people who just want to do it. They can phone Trina at our office. She's the volunteer coordinator.
And Trina's personal phone number is...
Yeah. Well,
Just give away Mike Dempster. We seem to be doing that all the time.
Yeah. So for the 12 people listening, it's 403. No. So you can call us actually at the Outreach Center and get a hold of her at the 403-347-2480. But it's by donation, so people come up, donate, and they'll get their gifts wrapped. Hopefully not by me.
So when you talk about adopt a family, that's something, of course, with our Optimist Club, we've been doing, I don't know how long. We will shout out to Stephen Becker in our club because he organizes that every year. And I think what's really neat about that is, there's such a personal touch to it because you get the Christmas list from the kids. So you do include gift cards and grocery cards and stuff like that for the family, but you actually go out and buy a gift that was specifically on their Christmas list. So I think that's a really cool aspect of it. And I know, with COVID and that might change a bit, but that is how it was before. And I know eventually we'll go back to that, right?
We'll get back to that this year. Unfortunately, we will not be taking physical gifts just due to the whole logistics of the pandemic and COVID and resource and space and all that stuff. So this year we will not be accepting. We won't say no, but we're discouraging physical gifts, right? And we won't be matching. We won't be providing lists this year for donors to match up families and those gifts. But what we are really strongly encouraging is the monetary donation donation side of things. You can donate online, or the gift cards. And the gift cards go a long way too. I mean, it actually almost provides almost that freedom as well with the families themselves, that they can go and they can, for instance, Bauer Place is a partner of ours. We're the charity of choice for 2021 with them, and a gift card to Bauer Place will go a long way, because you can use it at all the stores in the mall, right? Or, we're trying to, use or encourage, local establishments as well around here, Central Alberta Co-op, the grocery stores and all the bigger chains and whatnot. So, gift cards, like I said, there's the plus sides in that as well for the families to have a little bit more freedom and kind of use it as they can, right?
Yeah, I kind of set you up for failure there by starting with that point, but really, it is keep thinking like that's normally how it has been, and I think that's an amazing way to do it. And anyone who's listening that's going to do it, I know they're not just going to be one and done. So in the future, that is kind of the way it is, and I think it's a good team builder to do at your office. Obviously, it's something that our club does every year. Dustin, I believe now your family does it too.
Yeah, I was just going to mention for anyone who's listening, everyone I know typically participates in a family exchange of some sort, whether it be a Secret Santa. You set your limit and you pick your names out of the hat, and you kind of change every year. What our family's done the last few years is, and my sisters love Christmas, and I'm not the biggest
Dustin
Christmas.
just hates it.
No, I'm not.
He's a birthday guy.
I'm a birthday guy.
He's all tuckered out from all the November birthdays. Yeah.
But in all honesty, like I really don't care about Christmas that much. Like I like Christmas. It's fun to get together with family and friends, but
you're going to get so much hate.
They're taking us all over the place. Man,
anyways,
I got to tell you, I hate Christmas because I love it.
The best thing we did was we had $100 limit for our family, and we split it in half. We said, okay, let's make it a $50 gift. It's not that much different. Make it a nice gift for our sister, and then the other 50 goes towards our adoptive family. So every year we actually get to adopt a family plus give our gifts, and it's just the nice feel inside that we're able to buy gifts for each other, and to be able to give that to another family is pretty cool. So, if anyone does that out there and you just want to chop it in half and donate the other half away, it's pretty awesome. And it's a great way for these organizations, Mamas for Mamas and the Outreach Center, to be able to fulfill those families. So
yeah, we really appreciate that, Dustin. I think that's really a lot of the comments that we get, or a lot of my conversations that I have with people on the phone is the fact that it's not as much about them, really. And I think, again, my whole life, not my whole career, but my whole life, I've been taught that, a happier community is a better community. So, volunteering or whatever. But at Christmas, a lot of people will honestly, that's such a good attitude, because a lot of people would rather support another family, give them a lift up to move forward and get through Christmas if they're having a hard time. So there's a lot of gratification, and that's why I do what I do, because it's exactly that. It's philanthropy, and it's something that provides that opportunity for people to help other people and impact our community. So,
and if you have somebody that's just really, really tough to buy for too, that's a good way out of it.
You don't have to buy them a gift.
Hey, you know what, man? This year, let's just adopt a family instead. And you don't have to rack your brain about what you're going to get this person. So.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And so, Cara, because you never have too many initiatives like these, and so Mamas for Mamas now a newer organization in Red Deer, and you're going to do something very the same but different.
So our focus is the same, is really providing that hand up to families that need it at Christmas. It's a stressful time, and to not be able to provide for your kids and give them that same experience that other kids at school are getting, it would be heartbreaking. So with us, our focus, we have two options for donors. So people can sponsor a family, so they can go onto our website, sponsor a family, and then as our families apply for support, they'll be matched based on their budget. And if they specify how many people maybe they want to support, maybe they want a family of 4 or 3 or whatever, we can do our best to match them with a family that fits what they're looking for. Or people can give monetary donations, and then any of the monetary donations that come in, our volunteers will go shop for the families that aren't sponsored. And then on top of it, what we do for our families that are applying for support is, first of all, the only question really that we ask them, aside from the age of their kids, is have they applied for support from another organization? And if they have, then that organization will be the ones to support them. So what our hope is if there's families from the outreach that don't meet their criteria, we can take them on. So if it is somebody who maybe just moved to Red Deer and doesn't have a fixed address yet, or if they can't find their Alberta healthcare card, or if they're just above their income cutoff, then we can take that family on. And on the other side of it, if we have a family that we know will qualify for the outreach, then we can send them their way. And if something amazing happens and we have this incredible turnout of sponsorship and donations and we have fewer families, then we can also maybe help them beef up their hampers as well. So it's our hope, it is never our intention to duplicate services, but to enhance the ones that exist and fill the gaps as they arise. And in my opinion, at Christmas, you can never support too many families. So the best part of my job in the school is when I've had the opportunity to go deliver hampers on behalf of the school, because the look on the family's face is it's incredible. It is the most amazing thing to do. It's amazing. And I love that with my own kids, I've got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. I love that I can get them involved too. So if we are shopping, they can come out, or if we're wrapping gifts, although I don't think I'd want, my 6-year-old could probably help. My 3-year-old's kind of sketchy. We really like her, but she's a lot. She might not be very good. She's a really good watcher. But it's good
Aaron,
to.
She's observant.
She watches. She might wreck things. I hope she's not. They've only listened. They've watched Ryan do yoga, but that's about as far as we.
Oh yeah, and he just dropped.
I
forget what it was, but he dropped some bad to hold up a sign saying there's kids doing yoga.
Let go of all the shit that has happened in your week. And my kids are like, "Oh, Master Zen yoga."
Just sharing wisdom. Yeah,
so
go to bed, Annalise.
It's 9 a.m.
It was very early. So I love getting my own kids involved with this. It's so good for them to see this, and it's so good for them to know that they are very fortunate, and there are many families out there that don't have the same opportunity to have Christmas the way we do. So it's a pretty cool time to be able to get out and help this way.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you do this on your spare time.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I get the passion there. I'm telling you, that's awesome. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my husband's probably going to hate that when we do bring donations in, that they're just hanging out in our garage.
Well, it was Mamas or a golf membership, so I'm sure he's happy you're doing Mamas for Mamas.
Yeah.
He usually has all our wine when we do the wine survivor anyways,
we do.
right?
We store the wine in our garage. This is just different. It's different. And you know what? Honestly, it fills my cup. It's really incredible to see the growth, and our hope is really just to kind of get out there and have our community know who we are and see what we do. And yeah, this is helping. Your 12 listeners are going to know about us.
11, because Dustin's one of the 12.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So, Cara, are you guys taking physical donations or just monetary donations?
So we'll do both. So back in the fall, we did a back to school supplies drive, and I reached out to 3 people, 3 business owners that I know, and they were amazing, and they participated. And by the end of it, we had 10 businesses, which for us as this little baby organization, we're 10 businesses wanted to help us. And we were able to get 56 backpacks out to kids, which at first I was well, Vancouver did 500 and we only did 56, but that was 56 families that knew to come to us for support. So we're going to reach out to those same businesses and hopefully have bins at their location. If you are a business owner listening and want to be a drop-off location, you can email reddeer@mamasformamas.org and I can get you the printout to put on a box. But monetary donations are always welcome because we have a team of volunteers that are super pumped about the idea of going shopping.
Cara, I just want to expand on that. And just if you could talk about, I know we've given some stuff through your organization.
Yeah.
And it was really quick and easy. So maybe if you just want to go about just how do people go about donating kind of those physical goods, not about the Christmas stuff.
Yeah,
but
just items in general. So we have the peer-to-peer Facebook page. So it's Mamas for Mamas Red Deer and area, where if people have items, they can go on there and post them. Our motto is kindness is currency. So no money is to be exchanged. Everything is to be given. And stuff goes quick on there. When people post things, it gets snapped up really quickly. We do have quite a few people that will reach out to us wanting us to take donations. And because we don't have a physical space at this time and we're storing it in our garage, and we were storing it in my sister's bonus room until she listed her house, and her husband's we need to get this out of here. So now my lovely brother-in-law has offered up a corner of his shop, which is great. But we always ask people to first post on there. If they're not comfortable posting because maybe they don't want to give their address or anything like that to someone picking up, they can always email email us or message on the Facebook page, like message one of the moderators of the Facebook page, because one of our volunteers can actually arrange to pick it up and drop it off to whoever's looking. But it's always a great way to get rid of stuff. And honestly, it's really incredible to see the community kind of just band together and support one another.
I think it's a great way, like for us, with kids growing and getting out of stages. And it was like, oh, we could list this change table for $15 on Kijiji and have to deal with that whole mess.
Yeah.
Or, which is it's a perfectly fine change table. Yeah. Give it to you guys and it's going to someone in need. So I just thought it was a really cool idea.
We got rid of our crib when our daughter was moving into a bed, and Mark was like, okay, yeah, whatever, just give it away for free. And so we put it on there, and someone messaged right away, and I was like, oh, she can't come till Sunday. And Mark was like, I'll take it to her. So he's like, well, he could not get that crib out of our house fast enough. Like, he was so happy to deliver this crib to this woman. But it was really cool because that was when we first started back in, I think it was in May. And then in June, we went to the Rock Your Bump trade show at the Holiday Inn on Gasoline Alley. And the girl that got my crib came to our table and told me that she was the one that got my crib from me. So it was like full circle and made my heart happy.
It tugs on the heart.
It does. Yeah.
So I have one last question for the both of you. And this goes for adopt a family, but pretty much anything, because I think we know too, as many families as there are out there that, ask for the help from both your organizations. It can be really hard to ask for help. Can other people nominate a family as well? Or is there a way to reach those families that, maybe the head of the family is not comfortable or ready to ask for help?
So when I put my other hat on as the community liaison worker at the school, I know oftentimes other social workers from the schools, they have actually reached out to organizations on behalf of the family because they have worked diligently with these families to help navigate resources, so they know all of the things that the organizations are looking for to meet that criteria. And so in the past, I've done it for families where I've reached out and connected and said, I can have the hamper delivered to me and then I can deliver it to them. But usually that's a matter of that's where that relationship between organizations, I think, is really important. Yeah. Because if I have a relationship or a connection with somebody at the outreach center, I can call and say, hey, this is the situation. What do you think? And we can kind of collaborate with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of collaboration that goes on with all these different with all the different agencies or organizations in town. For instance, we work with everybody and anybody, and including the food bank and the Christmas Bureau and all these different organizations, right? We all work together to make for referrals or for whoever may need help. So yeah, obviously there's the online application that we'll have on our website, but it's mostly by referral. A lot of people that we do help from other agencies. But in saying that, we have a staff of 35 people. The organization, we have people there that can help with any sort of phone call or any sort of inquiry with more respect and confidentiality too, right? So again, it's just the collaboration, I think, between all the agencies that really help everybody. So
I've got one final question for you, Cara. For Mamas for Mamas, is there one or two specific items that are kind of in high demand or desperately needed right now?
Are you talking in general or for Christmas?
I guess in general.
Okay. I always still find that there's that gap in food security, even though there is lots of resources available. Fresh produce is hard for families to come across. Kelowna has this incredible sustainable nourishment program where they have a huge farm and they grow fresh produce and they have chickens and they give families eggs every week. Red Deer doesn't have a growing season like that. So the mustard seed and the food bank are incredible and they have fresh produce oftentimes in their hampers. But grocery gift cards, I think, are always something that lots of organizations could benefit from. And as far as the Christmas piece goes, teens are always missed because people are really quick to buy items for young kids. If you're out shopping for your 5-year-old, it's easy enough to pick up another Barbie or a doll and throw it in a Christmas Bureau box or drop it off somewhere. But teens, I've worked in high schools before and teens are missed often. And that's heartbreaking to me. So if you are out there buying gift cards, think about the teenagers out there too, because there's still kids that are 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old living at home. And I find they get missed. So think about things like Amazon gift cards if you're shopping at Christmas, or I don't know, even a mall gift card. The Bauer Mall gift card is perfect because they can go wherever, right? They can go to Lululemon if they want to shop.
That is the bonus. Like, that's why we're really suggesting, like, for us in our program, that we're like, where do we buy gift cards? Well,
yeah,
Our Place is amazing because it does have all those different, everything from the toy stores to whatever, right?
Yeah.
And
that is one thing that I do want to add quickly. Sorry about Mamas for Mamas is I think oftentimes the name of our organization can be deceiving, where people think we're only supporting moms and babies or moms who are pregnant. And that's not the case. We'll support caregivers of any kind, whether it's a single mom, a single dad, foster parents, grandparents who have their kids in care, parents with teenage kids, young moms. We've even supported or reached out to support, like connect with the schools who have independent learners, like kids who are living independently in high school. We can support in areas like that. So just because our name is Mamas for Mamas, we really do want to focus on supporting everybody that we can.
Mm-hmm. So you guys should be called Mamas for Mamas and Papas and Dadas and Babas and
Mamas for Mamas Plus.
Way to use that marketing degree, Lundy.
My oldest was we were talking about the cilantro and chive burger of the month, like the contest with the kids right now, where the kids can do their contest. So I said to Grace, really hoping she would say she'd give it to Mamas for Mamas. I was like, so where would you give it? Like we've talked lots about like the Child Advocacy Center and what's the
Humane Society?
Saving Grace?
Saving Grace.
Like Saving Grace. And she's like, I said, or Mamas for Mamas. And she's like, I think we'll give it to Kids for Kids. So it's not really a thing, but like put it under our umbrella and maybe push her a bit.
Yeah, my wrap up really is thanks to both of you for coming in and talking about your programs. And this, I guess Ted will send you guys the invoice for the $1,000 for coming on our podcast.
Perfect.
Please. No, just kidding.
We can afford
Send it to Mark.
But
He's just
actually,
kidding. It's $1,500.
Yeah. This was Ted's idea early on in the month to bring you guys in and talk about the programming. And
thanks, Ted.
Great job, Ted, for that. Having a little bit of community feel after we went out and did the fire night and embarrassed ourselves. So great job, Teddy, and great job, Cara and Myles, for coming in, and really appreciate everything you guys are doing. And Myles, obviously, working close with you, and Cara, been great friends with you for a number of years. So it was a breath of fresh air to have you guys in here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. I learned a lot from this short time on both your organizations. So hopefully our 12 listeners did as well.
And we do appreciate it because we were just thinking with the holidays coming, and there's, obviously we're pretty close with Cara. Cara also is part of the Chubbs donation committee and on the board for the Chubbettes. So you laugh, but there's a lot of community giving that goes on there as well. And, Myles, you're involved with a lot more as well than just the outreach center. And I know you've probably a lot of times just seen me absolutely struggling in that squash court to keep up with the athlete, Kevin Strybosch. So it was really great to have both of you on here and really just share a little bit of what goes on in our community and the things that people can support. And for your time, this may seem like a punishment, but it's not. You each get the full package of Oh Dear firefighter photos to take home with you. And that way, if you just don't have anything to start a fire with, there you go.
Myles, I expect that in the lip sync battle silent auction.
Yeah, it will be front and center. Reserve bid at
$10.
We'll give you $10 to take this.
I don't know where I'm going to put that. I don't know if it's
obviously
on the
you're
probably somewhere in your bedroom.
You're going to have to fight. I know you're going to have to fight Mark for it because he's going to want to hang all of it in his office.
Office space in the basement, so it could just tuck right in there.
Mm-hmm. You can probably blow it up too, so it's.
I think it's a great size. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's fine.
Lundy, our love handles are big enough in that picture.
All right. Well, again, thank you to both of you, and good luck this holiday season. Hopefully, this does help, and hopefully, we see a little bit more support come in. So thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to Myles and Cara for coming in. That's a great idea again, Ted. When we had talking to Myles after Lundy, you just want to mention the one thing he forgot to mention during the interview?
Yeah, so as he was leaving, he was kicking himself for not mentioning that the adoptive family program is an actual year-round program. So it's not just a Christmas thing. Obviously, that's their biggest time of need, and that's the giving season. But it's year-round, so because after Christmas, there's still families that need help. So that makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that. But that's just good information that I think we should share with everyone.
And I think, obviously 2 people and 2 organizations we have close connections to, but there are so many out there, so many great organizations that especially do a lot around the holiday season. So hopefully even that interview I don't know if the right word is appeal, but there's lots of organizations out there that could catch someone's eye as, okay, that's a cause close to my heart. So do your research. There's lots of stuff out there. We know the Red Deer Christmas Bureau is a big one as well. They always do the toy drives. I know the Red Deer Senior Rustlers do a toy drive every year. So no shortage of ways to give back this holiday season. And before we go any further, because I think we're just dying to talk about this, let's talk about last Saturday night. And usually someone else is saying that to me with a lot of shame in their voice. But this time, the Red Deer Firefighter Calendar launch party at Bose, all in support of the Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity. We've been promoting the heck out of it. People might be sick of seeing all the firefighter photos and all this stuff on social media, but it is a great cause. It's a huge party. And I mean, I think for everyone involved, it's safe to say it could not have gone better.
I think I speak for all of us saying, well, I'll speak for me, Ryan, and Kevin. We have never emceed a show before. Teddy, you wrote an unbelievable script. Honestly, we could have come in and just not even ran through the script once and put on a great show.
That's pretty much what we did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, so I didn't want to tell our listeners that, but
I think they could guess.
It turned out awesome. I know I had a great time. The firefighters, man, I'll never forget those 2 in a row. September, October, I believe. Mr. Bagpiper himself, and then Mel.
Yeah.
They were unbelievable. Like, I remember announcing Mel, the only female who was in the firefighter calendar this year, and those ladies in the crowd, man, did they build her up. Because I haven't been to a concert at Bose, but I have never heard Bose or a place that intimate, that loud in my life. The hairs on my body were just standing up. I was jacked up. I just wanted to just run through a wall. I think you'd mentioned to me a couple of days later. I think you still say you want to run through a wall.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be great. I know we raised a ton of money, helped raise a ton of money. They sold the place out. So for me, the event couldn't have gone any better.
I mean, I had a blast. It was it was a pretty unique experience just from start to finish. When the very beginning, when we came out to Christina Aguilera's "Dirty" song, and we all ran through the crowd and got them pumped up. I remember going out there and doing a couple weird little dances, and then I halfway through it clicked oh no, what if I know some of these people in my professional life? And I'm just out there dancing at their table with my shirt off. So it was all such a blur. So I'm sure I did know some of them, but I think almost everyone had an absolute time. So hopefully we get to do stuff like that again. And it was a very memorable experience, to say the least.
And before any of us three steal the thunder of what your girlfriend did that night, maybe explain how I think I gave her a kiss on the cheek on the way out. I might have. I can't remember totally, but
it wasn't on the way out. She left because you did that.
The generosity that Bree showed that night, along with some other women, but Bree especially. Maybe just talk about that, because that was unbelievable.
So there was an auction. We auctioned off 4 different spots to play a squirt game with the firefighters.
The squirt off.
Yeah. It was a squirt off
old fashioned
with some toy guns where you had to put out a candle. And I think the bidding started at $50. And I think we all thought it would maybe get up to $150, maybe $200. But Bree got into a bidding war with another lady. And I won't say the exact amount, but she bid well over $1,000. And it was, in her words, it's going to a great cause. So she was happy she did it, and she ended up winning the squirt off. So so I guess it was win-win all around.
And I think it's important to note, thanks to Bree, but also there was so many generous people that night. We know with the learn a new skill and pay the bill, I had to do the magic show, and we said, hey, I'll do the magic show, but I want to see us raise any way possible $500. So we had a bucket on stage, and as soon as I think it was Dustin said the words magic show, money started flying on the stage. And I actually think Bree donated towards the magic show as well. And there's some people who made very generous donations. I think through all of that and selling our photos, which I think we were surprised we sold a lot more of those than we maybe expected, but I don't know the exact total, but I think on top of everything else, we raised an additional somewhere around $3,000 for that, just from the generosity of everyone who was already there, who had already paid for their ticket. So yeah, I think that was pretty incredible. And thank you to everyone for not only donating, but I think they were just ready for me to get off the stage because they did give me an applause for my magic show that I did not think was very good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it wasn't a good magic show. Yeah.
Well, I was kind of off to the side, so I saw some of your tricks. So I mean, to me, it wasn't that special, but I know
it wasn't to
I know
anyone. Trust me.
I picked up Morsey tonight on the way here, and the whole way here, he was telling me about how did Ted do those tricks. So you still got him stumped.
Yeah.
So you made a fan. Yeah, it was an awesome night, like you guys say, and a bit of a whirlwind and kind of blacked out at times just because there's so much going on. And one story was when we walked in and we kind of got the crowd pumped up thinking the firefighters were coming in, and then it was us. And so me and Dustin were coming through the front doors. And so we're out there early because we're on time, we're ready. So we're standing outside and it's pretty cold. We have no shirts on, but we're in these firefighter pants and boots. And there's a lot of ladies outside out front of Bo's smoking like right before the show starts. And so they are just like, oh my God, firefighters. And like they had a few for sure.
Did you guys go along with it?
Oh yeah, we took a lot of pictures out front. But we were like, we are not firefighters. But they didn't care. And we had a mom made the daughter like go in the picture. And then she quickly yanked her out and the mum was in the picture.
Yeah. Like as soon as, honestly, like anyone who knows Bo's Bar and Stage, they're in that complex right on Gates there. And so we came out from behind Bo's and we walked around. I don't know what the new shop is right on the corner, but honestly, as soon as we turned the corner, these ladies were like, firefighters. And I was like, I thought I knew what I was in for that night. And then I was like,
it kind of scared me.
Well, and not only that, but for me, Kevin, you're in great shape. I'm thinking to myself, this guy hasn't worked out in 4 years. And I'm beside this guy that goes to the gym every day and he's just strutting his stuff. And I'm like, I might not get asked to be in these pictures.
Well, and it's funny because, Lund and I kind of came in more through the back door by the stage, and Aaron went, and we'll talk to Aaron too, because great job. We had you go up, do the housekeeping, announce us, and you kind of tricked everyone into thinking that the firefighters were coming out. Well, when Lund and I come through the door, everybody knows, okay, this is a joke. But I have to imagine when you and Walsh come through the door at the same time, people are probably thinking, what the hell's happening here? Like, is this just like bring your friend to the firefighter show? Like, we've got a guy in great shape and we have a Dustin.
And Walsh sent me up to the balcony too. He's like, you're going up there. You're going to get stuck up there. I can just like beetle the stage. Like, I don't want to be dancing. And sure enough, it happened. I look down and Lund had made his way all the way back to Walsh's area.
I got sidetracked. I got too.
Oh, we were everywhere. And you know what? There was a table that had about 4 guys at it. And I gave him a real nice dance and gave him my fire helmet. And he was pretty into it. There wasn't a lot of men there, but good for the ones that were. I think it looked like they had a good time. I don't know how you couldn't. And one more story, because going back, Dustin, you talked about Tyler, Mr. September, who came up, did a great bit, and then took his fire gear off and was wearing a kilt and played along the long way to the top on the bagpipes. But when we were getting ready in Brendan's office, this is just minutes before we're coming out, and we're getting ready, and he comes in and goes, sorry guys, I got to tune this. So he's playing the bagpipes, and that's where I'm ready to run through a brick wall now. We're all jumping around. We got the bagpipes going, and Lund, you were there with me. I've never ran faster in my whole life, I think, than when I ran through the door when Aaron introduced us. Because I was everyone's heard me say it a million times, I'm still ready to run through a brick wall.
Yeah, you were like shot out of a cannon.
It's like fashion show times 10.
It was funny because I had no clue what he was playing. And I mean, we've all heard bagpipes and know that unless you like hear the tune. But I was like, what are we in for here? And then when he busted it out to the song, that got me jazzed. That was a nice touch. I thought he did awesome.
Yeah, shout out to all 12 of those models, I guess we can call them. They all did a great job. They all had something unique that they performed, and the crowd ate up every minute of it. So that's the first firefighter calendar release party I've ever been to, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, like you mentioned all 12, before we go over to Aaron and Ryan from a kind of outsider's perspective view on the night, which frankly, I'm not sure I want to hear, but I just want to say, Aaron's husband, Griff, Mr. January, what a, like with Stems, who was a big sponsor for their night. What a way to kick off the night. When he walked up, got on stage, and then just started ripping flower bouquets out. I don't even know where he was getting them from, but I think he handed out like 15 and all to the ladies in the crowd, and everyone was just amped up. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, the fuck did we get ourselves into? Like, I'm just amped up on stage, and I just didn't know what to do. Like I just
flustered.
Yeah, I was exactly.
But it didn't show. So again, sorry guys on the couch, but I have to say this while I have a chance, because first of all the firefighters, every little show, skit, I guess, or dance, everything they put on was amazing. So it was really we just had the opportunity to guide the ship. Like, they all put a lot of work into each of their individual parts, and it all came together in a great way. And Dustin, I'm going to say this because, it's not easy for you guys to follow a script that someone else wrote, whether you've read it 1,000,000 times or 0 times. I'm sure somewhere in between for you 3 guys. And at the risk of sounding really cheesy, like, I'm a guy, I went to school to be in radio. I have, had the opportunity to MC a lot of events, and I feel comfortable up there. Maybe Aaron can say the same thing. I was really proud of the 3 of you guys. And I'm sorry if that sounds cheesy or patronizing or anything like that, but it was incredible. And that's part of why I was so jacked up, because I even think back to a year ago when we started this. I don't think you guys ever thought you'd really MC an event, let alone something like that. And, you went with it. I don't think people would really know that you were actually reading off a script as opposed to just having notes. Like, it was natural. And, Dustin, you took the lead on the whole draw thing, which was awesome, something that was sprung on us. So again, it was pretty incredible. And I guess in a weird way, a proud papa moment, but it's just for you 3 guys who were pretty nervous to do it. It was an absolutely incredible job.
Do we have to call him Daddy now?
Yeah. And I don't mind calling him Daddy, because
I don't mind
that
either.
was a big
I'm not going to call him Daddy.
Well, not at home. Not at home. You can call him Daddy in the studio.
Just
you
call
have
me
the
on
master bedroom, man.
Just call me on time for dinner.
But we just keep getting off tangent here a little bit on this show, because it was one of the coolest things we've done, I think, as a podcast since we started. But we talk about the draw game, and they had so many different prizes donated, but holy shit, did that one catch me off guard when there was a clitoral stimulator that was given out. Oh, I'll just say it out loud. God damn.
I just want to know, like, does that
It's a fancy vibrator.
yeah, but does it help you find it? Because then I'll buy one.
Yeah, I thought it was just.
We're all adults here.
I thought it was just a myth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry I brought that up, but
No.
it's been on my mind. When I read it for the first time, because they kept bringing me up.
Clitoris.
No, yeah, exactly. I just, in a room full of 350 women,
And 5
that
men.
is not something you want to mispronounce. Like, that would have been so embarrassing.
So you got it right.
I did.
Yeah.
So I think that's a perfect time to move over to someone who, you mentioned Griff, who, man, I can't, first of all, Aaron, you get to look at that every day.
Yeah.
And people ask me, because we joke about, the man crush I have on Griff. And sometimes people who haven't met him are like, it's coupled with,
What is a griff?
yeah, it is how incredible he looked. And then you go talk to him, and he is like the sweetest man ever. So, but he looked incredible. And the 2 of you did an incredible job, helping put this on. You did a lot of work on it.
Griff and all of the guys did an incredible amount of work leading up to this. And I echo Ted's sentiments that I'm so proud of you guys and everybody who performed and everybody who came out to volunteer and has been a part of this, because it was a lot of work behind the scenes. And it was an absolutely incredible night. And I felt like I was tricking people when I got on stage, especially earlier in the night, just to be like, buy a 50-50 and like, sit down, everybody. It was really nice to have everybody cheer for me. But no, it was absolutely spectacular. And I know we could tell stories for hours about it, but it was quite the night, and I'm really glad we were all such a big part of it.
Yeah, and I thought you did. I really threw that on you that night, Aaron. We're gonna need you to go up and say some stuff. So I hope you enjoyed doing that. I know it's a little nerve-wracking, but I don't think you're too shy about being in the spotlight. So
yeah, no, that was it took me back to like my 4-H days. Like, I was getting up there to do a speech about my favorite holiday or something. So
Hey, that's why you're a producer now.
exactly.
Yeah. You guys had a farmer's calendar release party back in 4-H? Is that what you did before? Some guy just holding a pitchfork and
Feeding a cow?
feeding a baby calf.
If that hasn't been done, you might as well start it.
Yeah, we could host that one too.
Yeah. But I know it started with you, Aaron, and from Griff as well, going all the way back to asking us to be a part of this night. And I know for the charity, they've done it the same way every year, and we definitely, without a doubt, brought in something a little different. And I'm glad it went great. I did have 74% confidence that we were going to go out and everyone was going to enjoy it. But we have to talk about another hero of the night who is making podcast debut. He joined us at the live show, but this is the first time we've had him on the podcast. And Ryan, doing the music and really being on the side of the stage, I think you kind of knew what you were getting yourself into, but just tell us about your night.
I've worked this event before, so I know what I'm getting myself into. From my perspective, I saw a lot of weird stuff. One of the funniest things of the night, and in the moment it wasn't very funny, but so I'm standing on one side of the staircase where the firefighters go up on stage, and across from the staircase for me is my lighting guy. So I'm running audio, he's running lighting. Like Billy doesn't like to be behind stage when he's running events like that, so I felt for him already in the circumstance. But he's working away. He's having a good time. Kind of, I guess you would say strike one. At one point in the night, firefighter takes his shirt off, does the twirly-loo, and he throws it, and he gets Billy right in the face. And he just he takes it off, and he just sloughs it off, and he laughs, and it's like, okay, it's all good fun. And about 2 firefighters later, guy with a boot, and people are throwing coins at him. Billy takes a loony right off the stage, right in the eye.
Thanks, Ryan Echdahl.
Oh yeah, and then by this time I can see it in him. He's just like, okay, cool. This is a lot. I haven't worked an event with 400 people in the building in a long time, so it's just the energy and the vibe in here is nuts. And then strike 3, somebody with the squirt game.
I am so sorry. I forgot that when you give rules to drunk people, they won't follow them.
He got wet, and some of his gear got wet, and the whole back area got wet, and that was it. I thought he was gonna flip a table or something. He just a single drop of water hit him, and that was it. He just stood up, flipped his chair backwards, and he just got mad for about 2 seconds, and then looked around and was just this is cool. This is still okay. This is still
we're gonna squirt off.
Fun here.
Yeah. He was mad for a shorter time than I was because we had I had my $800 wireless microphone up there, all your equipment, and people are squirting around and first say, hey guys, we got equipment up here, stop. And they look at me and start spraying right at my microphone.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
well, you shouldn't have pointed it out.
And I was thinking of Ryan too. So I'm like, hey guys, get off the stage. And even one of Aaron's friends after, I don't think I've ever heard Ted yell like that. So I apologize for yelling, but I also don't, only because, we could have been, everything we raised that night, we could have been down right away just from having to replace equipment.
Oh, it's all in good fun. The way Billy took the t-shirt in the face, I gotta say though, that was just an absolute champ moment. Hit him in the face, wrapped fully around his head.
Oh, is there a video? Is there a video of this?
Only in my brain.
Yeah, okay.
I'm the only one who witnessed it, and it was glorious.
Oh. And hey, shout out to Billy as well. We had him out there for our live show in August, and again, it's a tough night to be working behind the scenes because again, everyone is amped up. The firefighters all had some liquid courage to go up there too. So it, in the second half of that show was definitely a little more off the rails, which you think we'd be used to dealing with by now. But I think all in all, again, just to wrap up, because we could talk about this forever, was incredible experience. I think that's why we're talking about it so much. We're still so excited about it. So thank you to the Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity and everyone involved in the calendar for letting us be a part of that night, because you can imagine how much fun it was just being at the party and being able to watch it. But to be able to be a part of that is truly a once in a lifetime experience. And like I said, I'm still so excited about how much fun we had and how well it went.
Yeah, and I think if hopefully we can make it a twice in a lifetime experience. If they'll somehow have us again, that'd be pretty cool.
That would just mean that this podcast lasts an extra 2 years from right now.
Yeah, so it's all on Ted, I guess. But that was a fun night. That was a ton of fun. Anytime you can help raise money is a good time, and have some beers with your friends. And
well, and it to your point, Morrissey, just being up on the stage and looking out, and all the ladies were, all the people, mostly ladies, but they're having a blast. And I think it's a great night out for, if you and your group of girlfriends are looking for something to do.
We are.
Tickets go fast, I think, but definitely put it on your radar to keep an eye on when the next one is
in 2023.
Yeah. Write it down.
But all right, that was a great wrap up. Ryan, thank you again. This just the opportunity now. 2 podcasts you're on in the span of
I'm on a roll.
A couple weeks. But again, thank you. This, like we did with Riley when we were talking about the video, it's a great opportunity to just have you chat with us a bit. And I know in the future we're going to have both of you on as a full feature interview. But thanks for popping in here, and hopefully you can get back to. We joke that you go and play Call of Duty, but that is your me time because we're so good in here. You don't need to babysit us.
I was playing guitar and then I broke a string. So now I'm just staring at the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, we tied a pretty big bow on that. I think it's time to move in now. Something we do a little bit where we're in the community spirit here. So we're going to do another edition of Community Corner.
Community Corner is brought to you by the Black Falls Bulldogs. The brand new Eagle Builders Center in Black Falls is now open. So make sure you catch the Alberta Junior Hockey League's newest franchise in action this winter. Single game tickets are available at ticketsalberta.com.
So yeah, this Community Corner is sponsored by the Black Falls Bulldogs because, Dustin, you've been a very busy boy with the Black Falls
You've
Bulldogs
also been
Foundation.
a very naughty boy too.
Yeah, you ain't
Careful. Don't tell out Santa.
You ain't getting any presents. Anyways, you have been busy. There's a lot of great stuff going on, and some of it keeping in mind that about November 19th is when this comes out, but there's still a lot of things going on that people can, again, take part of it and help you out as far as the Black Falls Bulldogs Foundation goes.
Yeah, a couple big things. Obviously, our friends over at Cilantro and Chive, Riley Kay and his wife, and Jason Burns, we're lucky enough to partner with them on the initiative with the Burger of the Month. I think they're up over $100,000 that they've donated with this Burger of the Month initiative. In Red Deer here, they $2 from every burger is going back to the Bulldogs Foundation, which is pretty awesome. Huge kudos to them for involving us in that process. We have a clothes drive going on. Rob Ray's a drop-off location, which is a cool tie-in for our foundation. Obviously, the podcast and Kev being on the board of the foundation too. So if you do have any lightly used clothes, you'll have about a couple days to get in touch with us or the Bulldogs to drop off any lightly used clothing. We'll be doing a donation sale at the end of the month, November 28th, in the St. Gregory the Great in Black Falls Gymnasium. So basically, you can come out and buy some lightly used clothes. We'll have some suit jackets. We'll have all kinds of different clothing if you're looking to get some clothes and support a good cause. And we'll be donating all the clothes back to a different cause if we're unable to sell any. So it'll go back to something for the greater good. And we just did a blood drive a couple days ago. So lots of crazy stuff going on. You know, it's away from the rink, which you don't always think about, but Jody and Doug's vision of this foundation and kind of tasking me with some different stuff has been super humbling, and really appreciate you being able to let me talk about this on our podcast.
On that note, we'll move in to talk about another cool place that I don't think we knew right away. I think a lot of people know about Sacks Thrift Ave, downtown Red Deer. And yeah, we've got Aaron's got an embarrassing story we're going to tell in a bit, but they're a thrift store. They were part of our treasure hunt. That's actually how we got to know them. I think Ryan met Vincent, and from there the relationship kind of grew. But they have a rage room, or might call it a couple different things, but you go in and you break shit. And not only that, but when you go in, Sacks Thrift Ave is an incredibly cool, it's like a vintage, it's a record store, lots of great clothing, and everything, all their proceeds go to either the Central Alberta Brain Injury Society or the Canadian Mental Health Association. So that's where it goes. You know exactly where it goes. And hopefully we can have Vincent on one day as well, because it's kind of a cool story about how that place came to be and how much he cares about the community. But the three of us, Dustin, you unfortunately couldn't make it, but Walsh, Lund, and I got to try out the Rage Room. I think we got to talk about that a little bit, because you talk about, again, unique experiences and fun experiences. That was, we've had a good couple weeks.
Yeah, it was lots of fun, especially I think it was a Friday afternoon we got to go. So great way to end the week. But, you know, the people, some friends and stuff that have asked about it, it's always like how does it work? So I thought it was just a good idea to quickly explain. Essentially, there's different packages you can buy for different dollar amounts, and that really depends on how much shit you want to break.
Yeah.
But really, it's kind of set up where he gives you literally a shopping basket, and you go in and You can pick 8 small items and 2 mediums and 1 large or whatever it is. And he's got them laid out on shelves so you can go through. I chuckled when I walked through there because he's got these big like old boom boxes and stereos, and they just have little price tags on them, like $5. So it's like, hey, $5 extra, you can break up this stereo or whatever. So it's a really cool concept. You know, the space he's got is perfect for it. I had a lot of fun. I could definitely see that if you were like having a bad day or week and you went and did that, it would be very therapeutic, hopefully. But yeah, well, all in all, an awesome experience and something really cool for Red Deer.
Yeah, I'll just add on too, Kev. So he's got in this room too, after you pick out your shopping cart full of breakable items, you get to put on an outfit. So he's got some coveralls you can choose from. I wore a leather jacket just because it was badass. Then you got gloves and a paintball mask so that nothing obviously gets in your eyes. And then you go in the room. I think you might be able to have 2 people in there, and then anybody else can just wait outside. And there's a little video camera for anyone watching outside that can see what's going on. And then he asks you what song or what album you want to listen to, which is pretty cool. And he just turns up real loud. You set up all your stuff. And then the best part, he's got like 10 different weapons that you can choose from to smash shit. And for anybody that has an office job, yes, they have printers and copiers and anything that gives you grief during the week. So I think one of the best things that we broke was an old Tassimo maker.
That was my favorite part,
yeah.
Which I'll tell you why after. But.
So because it didn't break immediately, we got a few good whacks at it, and it just took the beating. So it was my first rage room. I think it's a really cool date night idea, or just if you want to go alone, you can. But I think it's fun if you go with 1 or 2 other people.
If it's a date night, I suggest dinner first, because like we were pretty sweaty after, you work out. And the funniest thing about the Tassimo is there's about like 20 of them there. And Vincent says, well, you guys should take a Tassimo. I have so many of these. Everyone's throwing these out. No one uses these anymore. And Lund goes, I use my Tassimo all the time. What do you mean they don't make them anymore? Yeah. But my real favorite part was the music. And Vincent, stood there and he DJ'd for us. He put on different records. We started off with Bon Jovi. We had Limp Bizkit. We had Alanis. Like it was awesome and a really cool experience. And just to put it right out there, it's the packages are $50, $75, or $100 and you get 45 minutes in there. And of course, can get more if you want to add on more stuff. Remembering that it all does go to 2 great causes as well. And of course, he needs to be able, to go to other thrift stores sometimes to get that stuff. So I think if you have old dishware, anything laying around the house that you're thinking about donating, take it to Sacks Thrift Ave, because then you're just fueling the rage room. You're helping other people get rid of their rage. Or I believe, apologies, Vincent, if this is wrong, but you can also pay a certain fee to bring your own stuff to break as well. So again, pretty cool there. And for the rest of 2021, he's agreed, if you mention the podcast, you're going to get the $75 package for $60. So a great deal there. And I don't think you need to be sold on going there. As soon as we told a couple people that we were going, everybody got immediately jealous. So thank you, Vincent, for having us, and just a really fun time. And I know none of the 3 of us were in there angry, but I think it was fun to do that. And Aaron and Dustin, we will get you there.
Well, I did go to Sacks Thrift Ave, and Ted had told me, because I couldn't make it to the Rage Room day, Ted had told me that Vincent had asked if I was going to be there. But the day of the calendar release party, I was running a bunch of errands, racing around town, and I thought I'm going to stop in quickly because I love to thrift, and there's nothing better than a curated thrift experience, because this isn't like a Value Village where you're digging through stuff. This is very curated. It's vintage band t-shirts, a beautiful Wrangler Sherpa jean jacket, plaids, and I ran through and then was going to leave, and I kind of made my way towards the back, and we're all wearing masks, and this man, who I presume is Vincent, is, oh, can I help you? Oh, no, I'm just stopping in. That Ted from the podcast said I should come in. I love to thrift. And we chat for a few minutes. And then he goes, oh, and you are? And I knew he knew who I was. And I stared at him and he stared at me. But then I thought, what the hell? I'm coworker Aaron.
No, I'm producer Aaron.
I was like, what am I going to say here? Because if he doesn't know who I am, I sound like an absolute narcissist at best, or a real dummy at worst. And I just stared at him. We stared at each other for so long. And I finally said, I'm a friend. So we just looked at each other and I said, thank you. And then I ran away.
So I have one question. What is wrong with saying, oh, my name's Aaron. I'm actually part of the podcast with all those guys?
Because as much as I love Ted, when I sandbag you a little bit, especially when we go to Cilantro and Chive, when you guys had the burger of the month, and every waitress we had, I'd be like, this is Ted. He made this burger. I just... It felt weird. And I didn't know if anybody... I sit on the couch. I don't know. Like, what am I doing here? But...
I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Why am I here?
But it was, I mean, absolutely. If you are looking for that curated thrift experience, go in. It was spectacular. I cannot wait to go back and cross my fingers.
Vincent your real name.
Hello, I'm coworker Aaron, and I am here to shop. But yeah,
I'm producer Aaron, apparently. I guess I don't get a vote in that, but I'll just roll with it.
Technically, if I'm your producer, I'm still your coworker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is a spectacular little gem in Red Deer. So I suggest you go to buy some cool vintage shit and get out your rage.
So again, thank you, Vincent, for that. You can go to Sacks Thrift Ave, rd.com, and that's where you can book the Rage Room as well. So before we move on, and as I see Walsh take a real big chug of beer, it's always a great time to thank Door Tender again for always delivering and some cool stuff they're doing. You know, we always talk about how they're growing. They now have a rewards plan, or a rewards program, I should say, as well, where it's pretty simple. Every time you spend money, you get points and then you get gift cards back. And to quote Brian, it is very aggressive and, a lot more. If you think about, well, I know for a fact, skip the dishes, you don't gain points very fast. With this, you gain points real fast. So,
Lickety split.
yes,
I'm paraphrasing, but that's what I imagine he was thinking.
yeah, it wasn't, but if he had said that, it would have been a good thing to say, I guess. So as always, too, we have our code ODEER10, ODEER, DEER10 for $10 off your next order. And yeah, as always, just thank you, Door Tender. It's nice to come here, and everyone's after a long day at work, or a long-ish day at work. I guess depends who you are, but just come and have a couple beer and hang out. So make sure you check them out, download their app, go to their website, and now that you can start earning rewards too and get gift cards back for buying, I think there's never been a better time to use Door Tender.
Yeah, I think if you're going to take anything from this podcast, you might as well take $10 off of your next beer or wine. Like, come on.
Well said.
Or you could take the phrase lickety split and start using it a lot more.
Yeah, or Aaron's last spiel, because my God, she used a lot. Me and you were looking at each other, Kev. She used a lot of big words there.
Curated and it was,
Yeah, I'm nodding, but I didn't think there was anything weird about that.
Oh, okay. So we made weird eye
Dustin,
contact
that was a
for
big
nothing.
word. Yeah,
That wasn't weird eye contact. It was just nice eye contact. I watched it happen.
Whatever, Kev.
Yeah.
Drive your cell phone.
As I'm in a room filled with people I really do love, we're about to bring up the biggest piece of shit I've ever met in my life. Why don't look over there at the other room. Spin Diesel. It's time to bring him out again. As I mentioned, the magic show, I did it. I got through it. Thank you again to all the ladies and 5 guys at the firefighter calendar show for giving me the pass on that. And just like always, we're back. We have to decide again, and nobody's done 2 in a row. So I hate this, but I still have an opportunity to get stuck with something again. So I am going to go first though, and I'm picking light purple today.
I won.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick yellow.
Green.
Blue.
I hate this so much. Oh, and just so you know, we replaced Magic Show with learning a guitar solo. And luckily, yeah, you do have a good resource there in Ryan. So, oh God, here we go. Did everyone remember their
Spin it
color?
hard.
Because I don't remember everyone else's.
Spin it hard.
No! Ted!
For those of you that are playing along at home, it landed on light purple, which is Ted again. So
He's in the green screen room right now, screaming at the wall. Hopefully Riley's got that
he
camera
got out of
on.
here lickety split. I mean,
I just didn't want to say anything I regret.
you jinxed yourself, I think.
I'm so sorry, Ted.
Well, there you go.
Keep putting yourself in.
Yeah, because it's the way. It's just the right way to do it, and I keep thinking every time karma is going to catch up to me. Like it's fun doing some of this stuff. I'm not going to lie. Like it might have been cheaper for me to buy you guys lunch than all the magic show shit, but that's life.
Well, let's we got one more spin left here. So which one do you want it to land on?
I don't know. I've fucking hit the proverbial brick wall. Like, holy fuck, I've never had a free fall in my emotions like this in my whole entire life. I was feeling good. I just felt like, hey, for once, I'm not going to get picked for this.
Just run through it. You've been bragging about running through walls all day. Here we go.
That wasn't very hard.
Rubik's Cube.
It's what did we say? This was a long time ago. I think you had like 10 minutes to solve a Rubik's Cube.
I don't
or
think it was
something
that
like that.
long. I thought it was like 5 or 7
minutes.
Yeah, we can probably meet in the middle with 7, I think.
Okay.
We're just going to be meeting at Bo's for lunch. I'll tell you that right now.
So I think the rule is we get to mess up the Rubik's Cube, and you have 7 minutes to solve that Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
You got this, Ted.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a performance one. It's not. It's a skill.
A video one, yeah. Okay, you know what?
So let's put a date. A hard date for this one.
We're recording our 1-year anniversary episode right around December 14th, 15th. So that seems like a good time.
Sure.
Okay, that's a hard date. No moving it.
Well, I'll see. We're off the hook again, buddy.
Like this isn't that bad, but at the same time, it's like, why does all the world's shit have to come raining down on me every time we bring out this stupid wheel? So I guess the Spin Diesel didn't like being called a piece of shit.
So how many have you got so far?
This is number 4 for me, Lund.
And I've had 1.
You've had 1.
And these guys have had
And
0.
Aaron's had 1.
Oh yeah, Aaron had 1.
Yeah, I still owe you guys lunch.
And you two have had 0.
And the amount of money I've spent on some of this stuff too, between the lunches
Rubik's
and
Cubes are pretty cheap.
The magic show, and the Rubik's Cubes are cheap.
I have 1. I don't know where it is.
If anyone wants to buy a magician costume from me, that's lightly used and heavily sweat in. I gave the magic kit to Andrew Russell for his kids, so I'm fine with that. That's someone else. They're gonna go enjoy it and have fun, but only because your kids already have one, and Dustin, I think you'll
Mine's
just
too young.
Well, it's not even that. Is that you'll just play with it and break everything.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out that cup and ball trick.
All right, it's settled.
Fuck, like
December 15th. You better learn how to do Rubik's Cube. Congratulations.
I got nothing right now.
All right, well, let's move on.
No, I'm just gonna put this down here.
Throw it. Yeah, I was gonna say
Just good for nothing. Piece of shit. It was fucking worst $80 I ever spent on anything. Okay, it's fine.
Don't fix it.
All right. Talked about it a little bit last episode, and we talked about something else a whole lot last episode, but actually today, Lundy and I took a really nice field trip for the Tourism Red Deer Spotlight to the Ellis Bird Farm. Again, we know what was said last episode. Nothing weird happened at the bird farm, but it was...
the birds all... Most of them
different weird
south
stuff
for the year,
yeah.
So...
Yeah, there was a weird incident in the barn with a pigeon, but it wasn't what you think.
Yeah, it was a little scary.
Yeah.
Well, go on.
But anyways, let's first talk about, it's just kind of northeast of Red Deer, out by Joffrey. Really cool place. Walsh, I know you said you've been out there before. A place that I didn't really know existed until we started working with Tourism Red Deer. And just like a lot of those places, either in Red Deer, right outside of Red Deer, it's a really cool place. And as Lund and I walked through there, the thing we said over and over again is like, what a great place to bring your kids to for an afternoon.
It's I had no idea the place existed. A 20-minute drive from Red Deer, so not too far out. And it's a lot bigger than I imagined. So there's a main building there where they have a whole bunch of information on birds, whole bunch of pictures, whole bunch of stuffed birds, like stuffed via taxidermist. And apparently they did have a snake, but the snake was not there this year.
Yeah, so one thing went my way today.
Yeah. Guess Ted's terrified of snakes, so he's pumped about that. So in this main building, there's a worker there, and they can give you information. They sell a lot of birdhouses, obviously. There's some really cool looking birdhouses that are... My favorite one that I saw was in the shape of a reindeer. So if you're into Christmas and you like birds...
Or you need to buy a gift for Lund.
Yeah, I'll take one, sure. And then the second building that they have is basically just a room full of stuffed birds, like owls, and I don't know how many different birds there are in Alberta here, but there was probably over 100 different types of birds there, and
other woodland creatures.
Yes.
Before you go forward, since you visited the bird farm, I want to test your knowledge a little bit because I've never been. What is the Bird of Alberta?
That would be the blue jay.
Do you know the answer?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh.
I just thought you
not
might
blue
have.
jay.
I thought you might have learned something.
I actually
today, so.
no. You know, we did learn some stuff. Like there's a really cool game where it has like a foot of 8 different types of birds and a wing, and you have to kind of push it to see what matches with what. And it was really cool. And yeah, we learned a lot just being there looking around. So again, it kind of brought me back to all the days of field trips as well, because those are the kind of places you went, and there's lots of different areas, lots of walking trails. So like even as someone are you two texting each other right now?
No, I'm looking up the Bird of Alberta. I'm not even sure that's a thing.
I just thought it was funny. So yeah, go ahead, tell us what it is.
Yeah.
You got it, Aaron?
Yeah. In 1977, the great horned owl was adopted as Alberta's official bird after a province-wide children's vote.
Oh, wow.
I think
Children have spoken.
that's a good animal for your official
I
bird.
agree.
That's
Owls
way
are
back
pretty
when
sweet.
we did Alberta trivia. We never touched on that one.
And it's now gone extinct.
No, they deliver your mail.
Yeah.
Those are storks.
No, those deliver
No,
babies.
that's babies.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Oh, you need a trip to the bird farm so bad.
Yeah. I'm coming for you, Ellis.
But yeah, so we
Pick
went.
up a Harry Potter book, buddy.
It was kind of cool too, because obviously they're very busy in the spring and summer, and that's when most of the birds are there. But they are open. They have Tuesday to Thursday from 10 to 3. They have some hours there until December 16th, and they are open Saturday and Sunday, November 20th and 21st. So right after this comes out from 10 to 3, just kind of basically one last chance to go out for the weekend and walk around. And yeah, there's not quite as many birds, but there's some great walking trails. And as someone who does just like to go to some of the parks around Red Deer and stuff, you go with some friends, go with your kids, whatever, walk for an hour or so and just check out what's there and catch up on life.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned before, but as a family, it's just a great place to go to kill some time and for something to do for the family. Like you say, lots of walking trails, but maybe you guys didn't quite notice, but I think there's 2 or 3 different playgrounds and really cool.
Oh, we noticed.
Yeah, we went.
You guys probably played on some of them because they are unique playgrounds, like built out of the wood and all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool what they've done there. Very kid friendly. And again, I would highly recommend a family trip there at least once a year.
Yeah, we were up in the treehouse. Not sure if the ladder would hold us, but we got up there.
And it's free.
Yes.
It's there's no cost. Obviously, unless you want to buy a birdhouse or something, but just inexpensive or free way to spend an afternoon, and you get to get out and enjoy nature. I think they have over 5 or over 7 kilometers of walking trails out there too. So yeah, maybe we'll have to go back in the summertime when we can see a few more types of birds.
Yeah, except for that stupid pigeon. Lund made me go in the barn, and it was a pigeon, but it was like it wasn't.
It was like trying.
It
to
was
lure
up to
us,
something.
It was trying to lure us into a barn.
Sounds like Ted sucked you into his way of thinking on birds.
Yeah, he did. I wasn't afraid of birds until I saw that one pigeon at the top of the barn window, and he was just begging us to come in there. And then when we got close, it sounded like he was calling all his friends to come in and gang up on us. So we didn't actually end up going in the barn.
You're your own person, man. Your fears are your fears, and my fears are my fears. But one thing too about, and like obviously would be a cool thing is you can book it for any type of event, a small wedding. If you just want to go somewhere to get some nice photos taken, you can book the facility as well on that. And it isn't free; it's non-profit. And of course, you can make a donation, which on behalf of both of us, Lundy did, which was very nice until he said, "Hey, can you take a picture of me making this donation?"
Yeah, and then Ted's gonna Photoshop my $5 bill into a $100 bill just to make our podcast look better. Yeah.
They are open for a little bit longer. Make sure you check it out and keep it again on your radar for spring and summertime. You can go to ellisbirdfarm.ca to learn more, and I really enjoyed it. And you know what, Lund? It was just a really nice day between 2 friends.
Yep.
All right. And now, speaking of nature, it's time to head into Deer Call.
Deer.
I was wondering what you were doing. I was waiting for you to wind up your lungs, and you didn't do it. I was like, what the hell is he going to do?
Deer Call is brought to you by Andrew Russell and Associates with Remax Real Estate, Central Alberta, the official realtor of the Oh Deer podcast. Selling or buying a home can seem like a daunting task, so trust the experts with more than 65 years of combined experience and over 40 five-star Google reviews to guide you through a smooth and trouble-free experience. For more information on the team and the services they provide, visit andrewrussell.ca.
And tell him Lundy sent ya.
That was like a real ad. Did
That
they
was
write that?
scary.
Yeah, Andrew wrote that. And like 10 tonight, I said, because he talked about wanting to write one. I said, oh, and I forgot to tell you that we're doing that. He said, oh yeah, I'll write one in 5 minutes, and just put me to shame. But hey, he knows his business better than I do. So
Crushed it once
yeah,
again. Andrew
you are
Russell.
hired, Andrew.
How many houses have you sold, Ted the Fourth?
And speaking again to Lund's kind of weird relationship with birds, we'll call it. We joke about that. And think about
Whoa.
no, there's no
What are you saying behind my back about that?
nothing. We just talked about it last time, how you really enjoy bird documentaries and watching birds get it on.
Yeah.
To the voice of David Attenborough.
Yeah, like who doesn't?
Probably a lot of people, but even makes me think like bird watching, like, you know, we were out there today at the bird farm, is kind of a unique hobby, something that I don't know anyone who is an avid bird watcher. So we just ask people, what is an unusual or maybe a unique, lesser known hobby you have, or even just something that you enjoy doing that people might find. So it doesn't even have to really be a hobby, just an everyday activity that you find enjoyable. So we'll start off with Kim. Said she enjoys updating and organizing, color coding the monthly calendar at the beginning of every month. I think a lot of people do that, just organizing, planning out your month. I could probably speak for at least one of us here as well that doesn't sound like any fun at all.
Monica Walsh. You guys all missed that Friends reference?
I get
Okay.
it.
Yeah, it was just a terrible.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. It was just a reference.
No,
It's getting cut.
Yeah, yeah.
I liked it.
But is that something? I know, Dustin, you're kind of an organized guy. I remember you always had your big calendar on your desk too. Is that something you enjoy doing, or is it that's just who you are? Because there's kind of two different people.
I don't know that I enjoy doing it. I need to do it to actually stay on task. I think it's just something I have to do or I forget things. I've been trying to get you to do it for years because you forget things all the time.
Yeah.
It's a good skill to have. I mean, it helps with your time management.
Big time.
Well, I thought you were talking about forgetting something was a good skill to have.
That actually too is a good skill to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Riley said, does listening to the Oh Deer podcast count? I think absolutely it counts.
That is a weird hobby.
Yeah. I can't imagine, like, every time I leave this room, I can't believe we all had to listen to each other say all that stupid shit for 2 hours. And people willingly listen to it. So, hey, thanks for listening, everyone.
Good answer, Riley.
Kevin Strybosh, the athlete, this is a real one, it said catching food in his mouth.
He is incredible at it. Like, no joke. Anything that's thrown at him, he can catch. It's unbelievable.
It was a weird thing you, producer Aaron and Ted and the athlete had together at our job when we were all working together. And I don't know. That's just like, it was just something I wasn't a part of. So obviously I was jealous of it.
Yeah.
But
you would be a part of it a little bit.
you guys wouldn't let me in. It was like I was like bullied out of that circle, but that's all right. You know what? Let's move on.
But for some context, because the way it went was the athlete had his desk and then Aaron was in between the two of us, and we have some, cubicle dividers. So just one day I forget what I had and I threw it all the way over to Kevin. And he caught it in his mouth, and then it became this shtick for a little while until, thanks a lot, COVID, but where we would just find different fun ways to start throwing stuff in Kevin's mouth. And we developed a very, very small, loyal following on Instagram as well doing it. It was just something fun to do. And yeah, it sounds weird. That's the definition of a weird hobby.
What was the weirdest thing you put in his mouth?
Oh,
We never did any weird foods, but I think the best trick shot we ever did was we were at a bowling alley with a work event, and Ted threw something, I don't know, a piece of popcorn, French fry, into Kevin's mouth. Kevin immediately catches it, turns around, bowls a strike. The entire place goes wild. I mean, it was all of our coworkers. Somebody was watching. And I didn't hit record on my phone.
that was like the second try?
That was the first try.
Oh, it was. That's right. And it was an
Nailed
M&M.
on the first try. M&M, yeah. And then he did it again, and I recorded it. missed
Like 5 times in a row.
But then he got it. So twice he caught the M&M in his mouth, turned around, bowled a strike. It was incredible.
And it was like by the end of it too, everybody was just sick. They're like, oh my God, like how many times we're going to have to watch this happen? It just became a spectacle
but
for all
you know
the wrong
what?
reasons.
As many times as we needed to for the 3 people that would DM me about seeing this on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. And so a memory forever.
Sounds like it
the
was
second one is a memory forever. And you know what? You never missed a record button after that.
True.
sounds like it was worth the wait.
Absolutely.
Eventually, maybe we'll get the old act together again one day. This one, I don't. Well, I guess you could think it's weird. Aaron is going to be triggered by someone thinking this is weird. As Lindsay said, puzzles.
Okay, I actually, that is one of my weird hobbies. And I will say my favorite puzzles are the ones where you don't actually know what the puzzle looks like. And then you spend 14 hours straight putting it together without sleeping or eating. And then you have to solve a mystery that goes along with the puzzle. So you read a little booklet, and then the puzzle that you've just built without knowing what you've made helps you solve the mystery.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, okay,
that's
weird.
like advanced puzzling.
You were giving me the same look as when she was doing those big words before. So you're bullshitting earlier.
The most complex puzzle I've ever done, just one of those 3D puzzles, and now I guess they have 4D puzzles. Aaron, do you know what a 4D puzzle is?
And that's not my preferred puzzle
Oh,
style.
Okay.
It's in the metaverse.
Oh, I can't wait till I join the metaverse. That'll be my weird hobby, just hanging out in meta.
I know the one puzzle Dustin's never solved is not even how to find the clitoris, but how to say it properly. So
I did all that right.
I guess he does have a kid.
Is that how
He
you
does
say,
have a kid.
Is that what you say? I did it all right.
Right?
Yeah. Delaney, so this is a weird one, but I think it's kind of cool. Said she loves dehydrating food, which you buy a dehydrator for it and stuff, but
I'm not a big fan of that stuff, but I know like mango tomatoes, I think.
those are the 2 fruit and vegetables you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that those are kind of good.
Yeah.
I think-
Prunes.
Raisins, you mean?
Well, both, I guess.
Oh, boy. So Steph, ironing clothes, she really enjoys doing. I don't even own an iron.
I mean, it's, again, not a preferred hobby of mine, but I can see the satisfaction you get from that.
No.
And like you own a fashion shop, Kev. Like has it shifted though from ironing to like steaming?
Well, for men, yeah.
Oh, not for women.
Well, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know at a women's clothing store. But no,
Yeah.
for
Oh,
men,
yeah,
it's
fair
like
enough,
it's
fair
like
enough.
easy care, whatever. But
Wrinkle-free,
I guess,
please.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that would be one of mine. I think like I wouldn't call it a hobby, but I like to like steam clothes.
It's like
Yeah.
a chore you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, it's satisfying to see the wrinkles come
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So how much did it pain you the time when we were doing the Robbery fashion shoot and Dustin was standing there in his underwear, just, well, I don't know, not steaming very well.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, I quickly told him to get out of here. Took over,
I
but
quickly forgot about it.
Yeah.
Nice skill.
That's okay.
habit.
I don't
Good
know. I
skill.
still don't know how to iron. Like I had
like
to ask
ironing.
a coworker this summer when we were at a work event. I had to go to their hotel room and deliver my shirt and say, "Can you please iron this for me?" So that's where I'm at in life.
Yeah, the only time I'll use an iron is when I want to make a grilled cheese.
That's why you always have cheese on the collars of your shirt. You forget. All right, that was it. We didn't get a ton of answers on that one. Maybe a confusing question, but that's okay because this is going long anyways. But
Okay, I got one. I like vacuuming.
Oh,
yeah,
Is that
there you
weird?
go.
that
Yeah,
is
it's
weird.
really weird.
husband.
It's
Yeah.
no, we don't do it. I don't do it anymore. We hired a cleaning lady, but I did like vacuuming. I like to spend time with my daughter now more, but vacuuming to me is satisfying. It's, leaving that mark on the carpet. I don't know. Maybe that's weird.
Yeah, I like to take my clothes off for charity. That's my hobby.
All right. I mean, Aaron, I know you have
Got
yeah.
ton. Like, I like to do normal stuff like ride horses and go hiking, but also like
Those are both 2 things that sound awful.
but like the puzzling, that's kind of a problem, but love it. Thrifting, which leads into my obsession for collecting and playing vintage board games, which big fan of. And then finding bones. like animal bones and skulls, bringing them home, cleaning them, and displaying them as decor.
There was one in the treehouse at the Bird Farm.
God, see?
Should have brought it. Yeah.
Yeah, like shed hunting. Anybody who's listening.
I was with you up until you said clean them and then display them proudly.
Yeah, I've got...
But you have like mouse skulls in your house?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But I've got my eyes open for rodents that like from, owl nests. No, but I've got bison, cow, horse, deer, lots of deer, moose sheds, deer
Ex-boyfriends, yeah.
sheds. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah.
Is she wearing your alibi shirt you were in last time?
Yeah. Yeah, Lund donated that to the thrift store and Erin bought it when she was there as a friend of the podcast. So I guess maybe this will spark you. If you don't have one, hey, I did have to think about it. But the other weird thing that I really enjoy, and I don't think it's weird, but I really do enjoy taking care of my hair. Like twice a week, I take an hour out of my night and do like the hair mask and all that stuff and like leave it in. And like, I know we joke about my hair all the time and I like my hair, but it's something, I don't know why. I guess it's a little self-care thing, but I really enjoy doing it.
That would actually be a great question next time is like your self-care routines. What do you do to take care of yourself? Because I like that.
So maybe a question for the one after next time, because everyone start thinking next time is your favorite Christmas song.
Oof.
And I got a lot.
As long as it's not Mariah Carey.
What did she ever do to you?
Oh my God. For 2 months of every year, she just doesn't leave my head.
All right. Well, that is for next time. So that is Deer Call again. I know you guys are all weirder than you think. Lund, you do lots of weird shit, probably.
Yeah, but none of them are hobbies.
Oh, that's fair enough.
That's kind of what I was thinking of too.
It was a.
I do some weird shit, but
yeah. Well, there we go. Thank you again, everyone, and yeah, start thinking of your favorite Christmas song. So now we're just going to move right along here because as we get to the end of the night, you know exactly what time it is. It is time for Dustin versus Walsh.
Dustin vs. Walsh is brought to you by the Unparalleled Clothing Company. Don't miss your chance to save up to $20 on select hats and apparel with free shipping on all orders over $150. Head to unparalleledpw.com now to check out Unparalleled's latest sale.
Okay, so we're now 2-0 in Dustin versus Walsh for Dustin, which means not only is Dustin 2 wins away, we're doing a best of 7 from a carriage ride and a nice night out from Walsh, but I would get the same from Lund because we're kind of teamed up on this one. So we're going to revisit something that we did once already.
So we're going to do the newlywed game. I have great misgivings about doing this again after the domestic that it caused between Ted and Lund, and the shoe thing, I think, is still a sore spot.
No. You know what? Guess how many times since then his shoes have been in the way? Like, honestly, probably 0.
Guess how many times they're in the way before?
A lot.
Probably 0.
No. Anyways.
So here we go. Dustin, you will be teamed up with Ted on this. Walsh, you're guessing for Lund. So here we go. Dustin and Walsh, what is your partner's favorite movie?
Star Wars.
I said Forrest Gump, that I've seen probably over 100 times because it is the perfect movie, even though Jenny's a bitch and Forrest Jr. is not actually Forrest's kid.
I had Gladiator first.
It's good. Both good movies.
I had Old School.
Oh, I was so close to writing that.
Step Brothers?
I was thinking about that one too. I said, We're the Millers.
If your partner could date any member of the same sex, real or fictional, dead or alive, who would they pick?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
What?
That's a cheat. I went Bobby Orr.
Phil Collins.
Those guys like twins.
Everyone laughing at me right now obviously has not heard the Tarzan soundtrack, first of all.
Like from Disney?
Yeah. Like, it's incredible. You know what? And then I'll tell you one thing, like Lund does not talk about himself a lot, and that's why I felt like it at a disadvantage when we did it, because not saying I don't, but Dustin, all he ever does is talk about himself and his favorite whatever, this and that. So hopefully Walsh is at the disadvantage this time, because he had the advantage last time we played this game.
Yeah. Crushing it so far.
Yeah.
All right. Same question, but now for any female.
I think I turned the table on you, buddy. At least I hope I did.
Let's be fair. There's a lot of answers to this. And I promise I didn't write down anyone that'll date me, but that is an answer.
Betty White.
The Pink Power Ranger. We've talked about that. Should have been a layup.
Go back to episode 1, buddy.
Go back to the last episode when we talked about my first childhood crush.
All right, Britney Spears.
No. No.
He just wants her to be free.
Yeah. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, ScarJo. That was a good answer, Dustin, but
If you go back to episode 1, your celebrity crush was Betty White.
well, that's what Lund guessed my celebrity crush was. And then I said the Pink Power Ranger, and then I said it again
Man, that
last
was a long time ago. Things change.
Yeah.
All right. Question 4. What is your partner's worst habit or trait? So, Dustin, what would Ted say is his worst habit or trait? Same thing, Walsh. What would Lund say is his worst habit or trait?
Worst habit or trait is he is too soft-spoken.
Said eating unhealthy food.
I said Ted's worst habit or trait is time management.
Disorganized / forgetful.
I'll give you half a point.
Yeah.
Holy-
Oh,
I'd give like a quarter, maybe.
what?
Yeah.
That's the exact same thing.
No, it's not.
That was the exact same thing.
Come on, Aaron.
So the score is 1
Well, that's
to
hey. It's not for
0.
these two to decide. It's for you to decide.
Oh.
What? So what was the official ruling?
That's a 0.5.
Okay, so it's 1 point to half a point.
Okay.
That's
How
good
many-
though. That's momentum
How many
builder. We're
questions
on
are there?
10.
10. Question 5. So, what do you think your partner thinks is your worst trait or habit? So, what does Ted think is your worst trait, Dustin? And Walsh, what does Lund think is your worst trait or habit?
Let me have a look at you.
We already wrote it down.
Yeah,
That was quick.
but we're still all friends here because nobody's perfect.
I'm going to say it because you mentioned this earlier on in the podcast talking about myself.
No, I don't think that's necessarily a terrible quality. I said, and you are the most impatient person I've ever met in my whole life.
This goes back to my last time management comment.
Either way, it's 0 points.
Yeah.
I said too small.
Oh, I said too short.
Oh,
Now hold on though.
yeah, small and short are the same.
Yeah.
How is disorganized and poor time management not the same then?
Oh, that's
No.
not.
Because you can be disorganized and still have...
Yeah.
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Organized
can.
and have good
No.
time management.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know plenty of people that are really.
No.
really
Oh, yeah.
organized.
Name a couple.
My office is a mess, but
Bob,
I'm
Joel,
still on
Frank,
time
Tom.
for all my meetings. I still have all my stuff done.
It does,
doesn't-
hey, I'm
She's
the
the judge.
boss here. I give it a point.
Nice.
All right.
This game is horse shit.
How many questions
I think
left?
Dustin's worst trait is
4
being
left.
friends with his judge who sucks.
Give him a penalty. Give him a -1.
All right. You were down last time, Dustin. It's okay.
Okay. What do you think that your partner thinks is your best trait? So, Dustin, what does Ted think is your best trait? And Walsh, what does Lund think is your best trait? It's okay to give yourself compliments. Funny, smart, handsome. Pick one.
Like, do we get to be those things?
Can be whatever you want to be, Ted.
You know what? I think this is a hard question because all four of us have so many great qualities.
Yeah, this is a nice one. This isn't one to be
No.
worried about. You guys shit talked each other real
Yeah.
quickly.
I have no idea. I said good personality.
Oh,
No, I wouldn't have said
No.
that.
I said can fit into small spaces. Well, I was trying to balance out the
I know
mean
you're
one.
going. Yeah, I knew you're going for the small. I knew you're gonna stick with small.
For that one?
Yeah, I would have.
Oh,
I would have been
yeah.
on your side on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, good personality and accountant, that is not the best guess ever. But
I think Ted's gonna say I have a positive attitude.
I should have said that. I put that you get it done.
That's a great quality.
That's a nice compliment.
He's a doer. Like, it's, yeah, positive.
half point.
No,
no,
those are.
Sorry.
You didn't
But-
get that one.
Hey,
done.
but way to be positive about it. That is, hey, I will say, Dustin, I'll give you a 2 for that. Is another one of your best qualities.
Yeah, and you're a good peer.
And Walsh, you have a great personality.
A long peer,
Yeah.
not a good peer.
Oh, I thought you meant peer, like one of our peers.
Peer.
Take it.
Do you want some
Take it
great
how you
cheese?
want it.
Yeah.
Take it how you want.
All right. So it's 2 to 0.5.
How many we got left?
4.
You just said 4
She said
last
4
time.
last
Keep
time.
at it, Matt. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's-
7, 8, 9, 10.
I know what I'd
This
write
is
down for
question
Aaron's
7.
worst.
Is it?
quality.
Okay.
If your partner had to describe themselves in just one word, what would it be?
You're writing a lot.
Did you write down that many words?
So I had A, hair, B, DJ, or C, single, and I went with hair.
Oh, no, I just put that I am a neat guy.
Yeah, nice try to cheat over there,
Yeah.
by the way.
All three of yours
What
are
do you
wrong.
What do you guys think about Ted? Oh, he's neat. Not from like the tidy sense, but
Yeah, he's a neat guy. I
and
don't mind
you know
it.
what? A lot of my friends, my high school friends and stuff, will know exactly that because that's literally how when I went to the bar, I would get them to say, "Hey, have you met my friend Ted? He is a neat guy," and it worked even less than you would think.
Okay.
So my word about Lundy was happy.
Oh, no. No.
That's what I was going to put for me.
I said funny.
Oh.
Which, yeah, it both
That's
also
like
correct.
basically the same.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
three of the.
So that's like a 0.5.
the
for
last
sure.
letter was
No.
the same.
I liked all three of my answers for you.
They were. I told you I'm going to put what I actually would
Don't
say.
put in 3 answers and getting judgment calls.
Well, you get to do that once then.
I don't want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin
right.
plays by the rules. Oh, that's going to be my answer for the next one. Plays by the rules.
What is your partner's go-to karaoke song?
I said Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus.
I also said party in the USA.
You would. I guess I've never been to karaoke with you, so I can't disprove it.
See, and I think other people of our friend group would say "See You Again," Miley Cyrus over that one, but we'll give it to you.
Well,
we both said the
got it.
same
Yeah.
things.
What do you mean you'll give it to
Good,
me?
good for our friends.
You better have said I want it that way. You got a tattoo of it.
Oh, fuck. You know me too well. I said I want it that way. There you go. So, well, that's kind of a wash. It's 3 to 1.5.
We need the next two.
Actually, Aaron, there's still 4 questions left.
There are 2 questions, but I've got bonuses.
Okay.
Won't need them.
Hey-oh.
Question 9. Your partner's favorite Disney princess, which I realize now really should have been the opposite way because you guys have kids and the others don't, but I feel like they still have a favorite Disney princess.
No, like I've got Disney princesses. Like if they were I
You
would
got
date.
posters?
No, but I'm just if all the situation was correct, there's a couple that I would date.
And you know what? I just want your favorite, and whatever your reasons are for that being your favorite, you can keep to yourself so you don't make it weird.
Oh, I'll say it and make it weird.
All right, I accept that.
Better not be Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, you perv.
She wakes up at some point, you guys.
Yeah, after. Yeah, after.
Did we just expose Disney for being weird?
It's exposed itself
yeah,
for
I
a long
guess.
time.
Yeah.
I have a question. Can I ask it to Aaron first?
This is blatant cheating.
Don't
This
answer
is
it.
cheating right in front of our faces.
No, I was just clarifying a name in a different movie.
Well, that's still cheating.
I went with Jasmine from Aladdin.
I went with Belle because she does not mind dudes with a lot of body hair.
Nice.
That's a good answer.
I went with Jasmine from Aladdin.
I went with Cinderella.
Oh, because you like touching feet.
You guys like blondes, eh?
No, she's a self-made woman who has good fashion sense.
So the question I asked was if there was a princess in Moana, because I know Ted and his nephew have watched a lot of Moana, so I just wasn't
Well,
sure.
it's
Moana is the
yeah,
princess.
Oh,
like-
is it?
You haven't seen
like-
that movie?
No, I haven't actually
Oh,
seen it.
you
So,
just-
that
you
was
need to
why-
watch that with Bryn.
Yeah.
She'd love it.
And it is you know it's the best song ever.
Yeah,
The
so I'm
Rocky
surprised
World.
you didn't
Great
pick
movie.
those.
We
Yeah,
just
no.
watched it on the
I
weekend.
thought you were
Great
going to say Elsa, but I've never seen that
Oh,
movie,
no.
so.
Wasn't even thinking.
Okay.
2 Jasmines.
Yeah.
Two Jasmines.
Well, because I was thinking of like when we were kids.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to think of.
Well, there was 100 princesses when we were kids.
Name them.
Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Belle.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
Let's do the last
Close to
question
100, yeah.
anyways for fun.
All right.
Oh yeah, we won.
Yeah. And you didn't cheat.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
Because Kevin plays by the rules.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
All right. If your partner could spend $500 on anything, what would they spend it on? Anything.
I went with $500 on the football bets.
Oh, I said Burger King. You don't have to say all at once. I actually thought you might guess that with how much I make the Burger King
Well,
joke on here.
I said unhealthy food.
I said gambling to turn it into $1,000.
So did we just
I was
just
gonna say-
cross here?
I was
Did
gonna
Walsh
say-
just guess
yeah.
right for me and Dustin guessed right for?
That
I'm
was
going to
my
give
son.
everybody half a point.
Yeah, that's a neat way to end.
Anyways,
hey,
I'm on the board.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's
You're right
2-1
back in
now.
it.
Yeah, that's a fun game. I think there was a lot less bad blood after this one for sure. Other than I don't know, Walsh was going to jump across the table at Dustin a couple times.
It's all for cheating.
Yeah.
So that's just, being on a team again, Lundy, it takes me back to our old days in badminton doubles. And one of my wife's coworkers who works at St. Thomas, which is the junior high we went to, we have a banner up. And so she
nice.
texted a picture of the banner of our names on there because we won something.
Do they want us to
And
go in?
they
and-
spelled my name wrong.
They did?
Yeah, Keven. On this fucking
Keven.
big banner in the school.
Even.
Yeah,
Keven.
Keven.
What a loser.
So you can't even take. No, you're Kevin Walsh. I remember because Lund's been around the fire. Did I ever tell you guys about my badminton days with this guy named Kevin Walsh?
Yeah.
He
He looked exactly like Kevin, but he was good at badminton.
My one legacy at that school, and they tarnished it.
Okay, we're off the rails again.
We made it pretty far. So that is a great time to wrap up. It's getting late here. A great episode again. Thanks, guys. I know middle of the week, a little bit later, did things a little bit differently tonight, but I couldn't wait to get back together, honestly, after Saturday. And it's been a ton of fun again. And we're always going to go off the rails, but I really did enjoy this episode a lot because I think we, as much as we like to goof around, we always say that we like to be the community podcast. And I think we really hit on that today and getting bringing in some very important people and getting an important message out. So hopefully I didn't steal anyone's last words right out of their mouths, though. Don't say the word mouths. It's hard to say.
Yeah. I'm just going to speak moistly here. Great job, everybody.
Yeah, the only thing I got is, I've ran into a few people in the public that have told me they've enjoyed the podcast and enjoyed listening. So honestly, just really appreciate you guys taking the time and wasting your day away with us. Really appreciate it. And the businesses who have partnered up with us and got their name out there. And hopefully we're doing what you envisioned yourselves getting involved with us. And yeah, just appreciate the whole Red Deer feel we got going on as we move into, a cool Christmas season here.
Yeah, and if any of you businesses are disappointed with what we're doing, Ted's DMs are open. So thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew, we'll have that meeting, Andrew Russell. Don't worry.
And I would just remind people that even though the calendar has launched, you can still buy those calendars. They make a great Christmas gift. So you can go to either the Red Deer Firefighter calendar Instagram or to the Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity Instagram or website and buy those.
That is great. I'm glad you threw that in there because we completely forgot about it. So as we wrap up again, guys, this is episode 19, which means number 20 is coming up next time. We're going to record that at the end of November, release at the beginning of December. Then we're rolling up. We really are, we're going to go on a nice little sports trip together. And right after that, December 11th is the 1-year anniversary of the release of the first episode of Oh Dear, which I think is going to be pretty cool. So we're going to do something fun. We're going to record a 1-year kind of a cheesy clip show type of thing for that. And that's going to pretty much be it for 2021. So look out for those next 2 episodes as well. And as always, a huge thank you to Cara Horsley from Mamas for Mamas Red Deer and Myles Peake from the Red Deer Outreach Center for coming by tonight. Again, a little later on the Wednesday night, they made time for that. It was another great interview and great to share both of their stories there. Thank you, as always, to Bo's Bar and Stage, our presenting sponsor. I don't think we ever have enough to say about Bo's. Lots of great stuff going on there and always lots of great stuff going on in here. So thank you again to Ryan and Riley from Communal Creative Studios for letting us use their space. And follow us on social media, throw us a like. We don't have as many 5-star Google reviews as Andrew Russell. What did he say? He's got 40, so he has exactly 40 more than we do. But if you like us, give us a review. Lundy, you got a cool sign off? Because I don't.
Yeah, see you later.
I think the best sign off we have tonight is think about our veterans as we move through November, and happy holidays.